We're going to start off with giving a shout out to our sponsors. This video, you guys can skip forward to when we're done with our sponsors, but shout out to the India Food Park, first sponsor for today, Amigos Coffee. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast. If you guys haven't been to India Food Park right here, downtown Indio, you guys got to check it out. Food, bitches, coffee, everything you want. It's here.
Performances, comedy, you name it. You name it, we got it, we serve it.
Yeah, and then we're here. We're almost here every day, so you're a fan of this podcast or what we do, we might be here. Come out to India Food Park, get some coffee. Shout out to OC Granite Tile, the best tile company in the Coachella Valley, I heard. So thank you for sponsoring the podcast. You need tile, you need a new kitchen, you need to redo your showers, bro, your floors. We got you.
Need new floors. You got you got a crack, like I don't know. Your kid might have like slammed something into the ground, cracked the tile. Oh shit! Now your parents are coming from out of town and you want to press them. Damn, bro, we need a
holidays, bro. Holidays are coming up. Motherfuckers, this is the crunch time. Like when it comes to the tile business, like everybody wants to get shit done right before Thanksgiving, and for Christmas, because all the families come over for the holidays. So everyone wants at the same time. Yeah. So shout out to OZ Grand Tile. Thank you for sponsoring the podcast, and also shout out to your boy SoFi.
SoFi, be fly with SoFi.
Shout out to SoFi, the number one bank on the internet. Like you don't need to go to Bank of America anymore. That's old school. That's 20th century. We're living in the 21st. You're a boomer if you still use Bank of America or Wells Fargo or those establishments. SoFi is the new way of banking. They have it all on that app. You know what I mean? Like you could get your money direct deposited from your payment, like your work. You could use a debit card, credit card, loans. You could invest in stocks. You could get a Roth IRA. You could also get some cryptocurrencies. So it's on all financial in one app. So talk about it a little today too.
Yeah, and we'll talk about finances in a little bit today too. I've been using SoFi. It's great. The cashback, awesome. And you can even redeem some points and actually get some stocks or put it into crypto.
Yeah, for sure. So check out SoFi. Put the link in the description. Make sure you guys check out SoFi. Use the link. Support the podcast. And then finally, our last sponsor is Audible. Shout out to Audible because I like to read books. I like knowledge. Are you a fan of knowledge?
Knowledge. It's in my garage. I don't have a Lamborghini behind me, but I wish. Yeah, bro. Knowledge is power. I mean, Audible has a great selection of books, man. I've been reading Jordan B. Peterson. What is it? The
12 Rules of Life.
12 Rules for Life.
That's a great book.
Good book.
And Audible's cool because a lot of the books that are on Audible, they're read by the author too. Yeah. So Seth Rogen, he put an Audible exclusive book. It's called My Yearbook.
Oh, really?
So Seth Rogen, it's stories of his life, and a lot of stories are like in the movies too, that he's made. And he just kind of like reading through the stories and shit. So it's pretty cool because you get to hear his voice and he laughs like like watching, like if you like him as an actor. Yeah. They have exclusives, and of course every book ever made. You want to listen to the Bible while you're mowing the lawn or washing dishes, you could do that too. And Twilight, those are the
Twilight,
50 Shades of Grey, and the Bible are the two highest selling books of all time
on Audible.
In the world history.
In the world,
50 Shades of Grey and the Bible. They're in the same category. You can find them in the same section of your local bookstore, and you can find them on Audible if you have not signed up and use the link in the description. Click the link, support the podcast, and listen to 50 Shades of Grey. That's simple.
Make sure you wear headphones though. Make sure.
Yeah. You're appropriate of age to.
Don't listen to that in church, man. Don't,
And sometimes you get confused. You could be at church listening to 50 Shades of Grey instead of the Bible. It happens. It's happened to the best of us. So thank you guys for sponsoring the podcast. The links are in the description. And now let's get started with today's episode.
In the Chavez podcast, we're episode 94?
Yeah, episode 94 already. We're almost there. We're almost at episode 100. Thank you guys have been listening to since the beginning. I'm planning something special for episode 100. Maybe some giveaways. I think the people deserve a giveaway for keeping up with us for so long. So we'll talk about it later once we have 100% concrete.
Yeah, we'll figure it out for sure. Awesome for you guys, just for your viewing pleasure, your listening pleasure. I mean, I haven't been here the whole way, but we have so much content. Like, bro, like just seeing how far like you've taken this podcast from like your first podcast to now. It's like, I mean, and that's what's cool about doing podcasts or just doing videos in general is like you get to see like
the journey,
you know.
I showed you some of the clips.
Yeah.
That I was, because I'm editing a video where it's gonna be a montage. I'll try to include everybody that I had on the podcast. It was like every guest that I've had, and then make a little clip for Instagram, or probably post it on my main YouTube channel as well with like some inspirational music behind it. You know, we gotta dress it up. But yeah, 100 podcasts, bro. It's been crazy. I've done podcasts all over the Coachella Valley. Technically, I've done some. Literally, I was on the go podcast. You know, I would take my mics and my Zoom.
You just clamp them on benches, park benches, like chairs, whatever you had in your disposal. And I think that's what's cool, like that. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think one of your best podcasts was the one that you did like at the fair or something, or like was it a festival? But you had like people in the background. I forgot the podcast.
Oh, with the lady.
With the lady.
With Deidre. Yeah. So that one was right there at the Indian Mall where we shot the music video for Mills.
Dude.
In the parking lot.
Like, I like how the depth, like, within that shot, man. Like, it's cool, like, doing, like, a podcast here, like, with the studio and everything. But it's just, like, man, just the rawness, man. Like, you can't take that away, man. Like, that's just interesting.
Are you teasing that we might go do a live podcast somewhere?
Ah, shit. Fuck. I forgot.
Bro, we got to go shoot at the swamp meet. Let me know in the comments. You guys
we got to rent a stand, bro. We got to rent a stand.
It's like $25.
Oh, really?
It's cheap. It's super cheap. Actually, the first one might be free, and then I think $25 every time you set up. That was according to. I had a homie who used to be a security guard. That's why he said. So I don't take my word for that.
Damn, bro, I'm down. I'm down for the swap meet, but we wouldn't. Fuck, bro. Like we do a podcast, and the next thing you know, you get an elote or a churro.
That will be sponsored. We'll be eating now. We can't be an ASMR podcast again. That's the people don't want that. But I think we should do more live ones.
We should, bro.
Set up at the mall. The mall's more strict, but for sure, like the Swami, we could get one at the Swami. Here at the food park, once it gets popping again.
Oh yeah.
We imagine doing a podcast where they perform, or maybe probably in the corner over there.
Probably
where they have the little stand, huh? The stage.
Yeah, the stage. Like, wouldn't that be weird? It's like people just walking by and like, hey, what are those guys talking about? Like, are they are they like a radio station? Because like we have mics and like headphones, and they might think we're a radio. Hey, what radio are you guys? We work for La Poderosa.
La Poderosa. Fucking 97.7.
97.7.
That one's it's like a religious one now.
Oh, okay.
Like I used to have like new music and shit, and I hadn't listened to it in a while. And then I was listening to like disconnected from my Bluetooth, and then that shit was playing. It was like religious shit. I was like, what the fuck? When does that happen?
Yeah, actually, you're right. I was actually like tinkering with my radio a little bit, and I actually like heard some gospel, like some preaching of the gospel, and I was like, what the hell? Like, wasn't Drake on here like 2 weeks ago? I don't know.
Well, it's maybe you were listening to the new Kanye album, bro.
New Kanye album.
It is all about religion.
It is possible. I think what's cool about Kanye doing like the whole Christianity, like music and being open about God is, I think Kanye is like making it like cool to be like worshiping God, but like not in a corny way.
Yeah.
Like it's cool to like, be a follower of God. Not saying like it was always bad or corny, but it's just like it makes it cool like in a new way. Like I don't know too many artists, or I mean maybe there's like rock bands and stuff like that do it too, but it's just like at the level that Kanye is at, like
just top of the industry, making songs about God. And you know what I mean, like it's something that everybody relates, even if you don't like religion or you don't believe in God. You grew up with those moral teachings that are pretty much like good, follow. You don't have to be religious to be a good person, and that's kind of like the Bible's trying to teach. Like and I like how Kanye's doing it. Like it's making it sounds dope. Like, and some of these songs like make you just like feel like you're in another level. So, shout out to Kanye. What do you think about? Have you finished listening to Drake's album?
No, actually, I have not, man. I have not heard any song from Certified Lover Boy, but I've been hearing like that it's okay. It has some good mixes in there, but I don't know if it's on the level though.
Yes, it's overall. I've only listened to it the first once throughout, There's the song with Future. That one's bad. Like the one that he dropped the music video for.
Mm.
I don't even know the names, but yeah, he has a couple good songs. It's not as good as other Drake albums because Drake makes nothing but bangers. Like Views was pretty dope. Nothing Was the Same was fire. There was a tweet though, like it does feel like Drake just makes the same music over and over again, which he has a formula, so you can't knock him because he's on top of the industry. You know, he's everything he makes is a hit. So I don't know. I feel like this was an underwhelming album. And so far, people are kind of like mixed reviews about it. So
you think he just put it out there just because of the whole Kanye beef, like, you know, like, oh, I bet I could get better numbers than you or whatever.
I could see something like that. I think he was already planning on dropping an album because it's been since like 2018, 3 years. I think he dropped an album, either 2018 or 2017. It's been a while.
Wasn't it Scorpion, the last one?
Yeah. So when was that?
I think it was 2018.
I don't remember, bro, to be honest. But that album was mid too. So
you think it's more of like the engineers that are like the ones that, because I remember Mike Lavish like posting something about how like when it comes to the industry and like trying to get like that industry standard sound, it's all about the mixes between like having a good audio engineer. So do you think it's more of like the audio engineers that kind of control the sound and like kind of make, like, are they the ones responsible for like kind of like sounds being the same?
It does. They do have a big responsibility. And that's the thing with Kanye. Like he grew up, or his career came as an engineer, you know, like he was producing and making beats. So that's why his sounds are always amazing. He's not the best lyrical rapper. Like sometimes he says some corny ass lyrics, like for sure. But his songs always sound amazing because that's his background. Like he creates those sounds and he takes risks. A lot of times he fails, but when he hits, it just hits different because he's taking these leaps. Like he went to Europe and he studied all kinds of alternative music to create Yeezus.
Wow.
Boom. He went out there in the summers. He was in Italy and France, like working with artists from over there to make the sound for Yeezus. And then when he made My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, he went to Hawaii. He brought in like a bunch of artists for like a whole summer. Everybody was working on that, created those sounds. And then now he worked with like choirs and all kinds of places, and he was working on gospel music while also kind of mixing it with hip hop. You know, like he's just trying different shit and taking risks. Yeah. And sometimes it's not the best songs, but whatever. But he makes some amazing hits.
He's making something. He's doing something. He's actively just trying to change the sound and not just being consistent.
He could have kept the soul hip hop that he grew up with, like, you know, College Dropout, Graduation, that soulful hip hop. But he just evolved, and he's always trying new shit.
Yeah, and that's what's cool. I mean, even with this fashion too, like I know he's big into fashion as well, and you see him, like every time you see Kanye, it's just like he has like a different piece on. Like, I don't know, maybe he's trying to like make a statement. Maybe it's just like a mood. I don't know. Maybe like what do you think about like Kanye's sense of fashion and like when it comes to his clothing and whatnot?
The same thing with the music. He's trying to innovate. Yeah, and he's trying to look into the future. So I got all this from, I watched a lot of his interviews. He had one, of course, with Joe Rogan. Like that episode was crazy. So he has like all these ideas. Like he wants to make clothes and everything for the future.
Okay.
And his ultimate goal was to make shoes and clothes that are affordable. But because of the contracts he had with Nike, like he couldn't control the prices and on Adidas and all that. So he signed a deal with Gap.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Old Navy or Gap. I don't know. Because I think Old Navy and Gap, they're like in the same brand or whatever. He's dropping like a clothing line there, which is going to be cheaper for regular people to buy it because we can't go buy as expensive as Yeezy brand. Like they're all like $500 fucking, looks like homeless, man. Homeless t-shirts.
The retail like price, bro, that's a killer, man. Just for some flip-flops, the Yeezy slides, whatever they're called. Insane, like $200 for a pair, like
yeah, that's, you get like 10 pairs at fucking Marshalls, bro, with that kind of money.
For real.
But yeah, so Kanye, as far as his clothing line, he's just innovating too. He wants to make clothes from the future. He wants clothes that are like connected to like fucking your phone and shit, and that change.
What?
He wants clothes that adapt to the weather, where like if it's hot, like it cools you down. Like he has all these ideas. But dude, you know, it's hard to execute. You think it's like,
you know what? I actually
clothes from the future. They're
I actually thought about that one time. Like, dude, what if because like how it gets so hot in here, like what, like how hot like in this valley. Like I always thought about like, what if somebody created like a suit, like a bodysuit, or just like a whole outfit, like you said, like just something where if it's hot outside, the clothing will automatically like just cool you down or something like that, or if, vice versa. Like if it's
Starting to get cold.
starting to get cold, it heats you up. Like
Yeah, that's
dude,
because that could definitely be something in the future with like better technology, nanotechnology, and more microchips and shit. But yeah, you know, so that's like Kanye's like crazy ideas. Like he wants his idea too is he wants to build like these small cities that are self-sustainable. So like basically just like a let's say just a big city with like 2-3 stories where like they grow their own food and it's all natural resources. Like the energy for the whole community, it's coming from like solar or wind.
Okay.
They're growing their own food, and then it's like a whole community where they all like thrive of each other. So he wants to kind of he has all these amazing, crazy ideas, but that's the person he is. So he's always thinking outside the box. So that's why I respect him too, because like he just
and I think
badass.
He idolizes too, like Steve Jobs. I know, like he mentioned something about that, like how he idolizes
he wants to,
Steve Jobs.
He what do you call it? Self prophecy, where you
self prophesize.
Either self prophesize or he really sees himself like he values himself like as a tough fucking guy. Either he is,
he's a visionary,
or he's not, or people, you know, like people think he's over his head. But he compares himself to be the next Steve Jobs, the next Walt Disney. He's mentioned that so many times. He wants to be in those regards, so that's why he's trying these things. Because are you gonna start a clothing line? How are you gonna get to be the next Steve Jobs unless your shit's like revolutionary?
Yeah.
Is your clothes like badass? Is your shoes fucking from the future? Right. Your sounds, your music. And he's able to carry the whole persona into this brand that's like worth billions of dollars for that reason, you know? He invested all this, and now whatever he touches just like it makes money and it works.
Yeah, I mean, well, you gotta Kanye, I mean, he's just known as like an innovator, like you said. Like he's always just trying to do different things, and I think we just need more of that. Like we don't see that enough, you know, especially like in different areas of different industries. Like, you know, like you don't really see that a lot. Like things changing. Like how many times have you seen an artist like change their sound just?
Oh, it's rare because they're scared. They're scared that they're gonna lose their fan base. They're gonna alienate their fan base. You know, like they don't want to take that risk. So maybe that's why the Kanye, the Drake album's kind of mid, because it just sounds the same as this other shit. Like he's not trying new shit. He's not trying to do nothing different. He's been singing the same shit for 10 years. You know, like how many more simp songs are you gonna make, Drake? You know,
it's the same thing too with the reggaeton artists too. Like I don't know, man. Like every time I listen to a Bad Bunny song, it's like, man, this shit sounds the same. What the hell? Like I can't. I don't know the difference between J Balvin. Like even the artists too, they sound the same too. So I'm like,
I feel you. Like I don't even get it. Like I don't understand how Bad Bunny is that popular. I get it. I get why he's popular, because if every song sounds the same and all of them are like club bangers and makes you want to dance, I get it. Like every song's gonna just be popping, and it's all about volume. So whether you're a reggaeton artist, Drake, whatever. Once you find the shit that works, just fucking go 1,000% in and make 1,000 songs. But one thing about Bad Bunny, he has experimented a little bit. He's trying different songs. He's doing different things, and he even did trap corridos. He did a song with Natal Cano. Yeah. He's actually doing. I don't know about J Balvin and them, but for sure Bad Bunny. And then Bad Bunny went into the wrestling thing for marketing. Yeah. So Bad Bunny, I give him credit. He's been doing different shit. You know, like even though his songs are kind of the same.
I think he made a remix of like that Booker T song too.
Yeah. So he's trying different shit. So I guess gotta give some credit to Bad Bunny before you get canceled
by his fans. 97% of women, 3%. It's true, dude. Like women are like consuming most of that genre of music, man.
Drake too, though. Drake, it's all light skins and women. So
I mean, I don't know. There's some Mexicans too that listen to Drake a lot too, man. I mean,
only Mexicans who say the N-word listen to Drake.
Champagne Poppy. What even is that, man? I remember he made that like a song with who's that guy? French Montana, and like he was like in like playing golf, and he had like a mustache or something like that. It was like I think he went like something like sipping on drink. Like It was an old song. I don't know the song. I'm not a Drake fan like that, but it's just like, man, he was trying to be Dominican or like Hispanic, something like that, and it's just like,
yeah, he had like a song with Future where he was wearing the Mexico jersey.
Oh, really?
Damn, what was the song called? That was a pretty popular song too, and he was wearing a Mexico jersey. And then, like, people are saying that he cursed Mexico in the World Cup because every time he wears a jersey of a team or he supports a team, they lose. Like, that's the Drake curse.
The Cleveland, right? With like the Cavaliers.
He's done it with like so many teams, bro. So he's done like all kinds of college football teams, college basketball teams, NBA teams. Like the only one that's ever won was like Toronto, the Raptors, because he's actually part owner or some shit. He's I think he's part of like the agency or the
like he owns a share, like
some like shares. So and he's always at courtside for the playoff games or the important games.
Yeah, that's his hometown, right?
Yeah, Toronto. The six. 6th Street.
6th Street. Shout out 6th Street.
Yeah, I went to 6th Street today. I ran into So I ran into two people that do podcasts, which is pretty crazy. I ran into Ricky's brother too.
Oh, Jair?
Yeah, I didn't talk to him. I just saw him from afar. So he was there with his brother and his like cousins. So I got to see Ricky, who has the Woo podcast, and then my friend Adam, who has the Heaven's Demons podcast.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen him?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I gotta put you on him. So yeah, Adam, my boy Adam. So he's been on the podcast like multiple, probably like 3 times already.
Is he like a tattoo artist?
No, he's an artist. Like he sings.
Oh, okay.
So he makes music. Mm-hmm. He made his like debut music early 2020, right before the pandemic.
Right. Was he the guy like that had the room, like with the studio in the room or something like that? Was it that guy? Or
which studio in the room?
You did this one podcast where like you did you interviewed this guy who had like his own music studio in his bedroom. Was it him? Is that him? No.
Damn, I don't know who you're talking about. I done a lot of podcasts with me out here. Okay, so we're back. We finally pulled up the video. Sorry, it took a while. Well, actually, it's edited, so you guys didn't see the process. So this is the first music video ever directed for the homie Sinner. So he's an artist. He was starting in the beginning of 2020, and then the pandemic hit.
Oh.
So this video came out like in February, like right before the pandemic. So the video came out. He made the song. He's still experimenting with his sounds. And then he decided to just do podcasts. So it's him and his homie Arturo. So it's Arturo and Adam. And then the podcast was called DNA. But now they changed it to Heaven's Demons because that's the name of their clothing brand. Oh. So they have a clothing brand, the Heaven's Demons.
Heaven's Demons.
They do promo videos. It's pretty cool. They've done some cool shit. Okay. I've done some other videos too.
Are they the ones HV like something?
HVNS, yeah.
That's
Heaven's
them?
Demons does it. Okay. HVNS, DMNS or something. I don't know. I don't know how to spell demon. But yeah, Heaven's Demons. So this is the music video that I directed. My very first music video. We maybe edit it with the people.
Okay.
Old flames never burn the same. Say my name, baby, say my name.
I was doing it auto at the time.
These feelings change, yeah, these feelings change. You played me once, you thought it was a game. Old flames never burn the same. Say my name, baby, say my name. These feelings change, yeah, these feelings change. You played me once, you thought it was a game. She driving me crazy, but I put my key in this bitch.
Yeah, puro troca.
It's just me and my bitch. Got all I need with my bitch. Gucci Louis V, she that bitch. She said she don't need me and shit, but she want me so bad. It's like she need me and shit. You driving me crazy. Hope I don't crash in this bitch. Don't think I'ma last in this bitch. We're going too fast in this bitch. I wasn't her first, but I'll be the last in this bitch. Diamonds and carrots and shit. Think I'ma marry this bitch. Old flames never burn the same. Say my name, baby, say my name. These feelings change, yeah, these feelings change. You played me once, you thought it was a game.
That's like the best shot right there.
Old flames never burn the same. Say my name, baby, say my name.
This is the most lit.
These feelings change, yeah, these feelings change. You played me once, you thought it was a game.
That's the first music video that I directed. Shout out to my boy Sinner.
How did like that come to be? Like how? Did you plan to shoot a music video, or they just knew, like the guy just knew you?
Yeah, so I've worked with him before. So we played football in high school together.
Oh, okay.
He went to India.
Yeah.
Yes, I known him for a while. I helped him make because he's always been into fashion. He's always wanted to do something with fashion before he started his clothing line, and he went out to intern in LA to like some top designers and shit. Like he was doing some badass shit, bro. Like he was over there. He faked like a resume, bro. And then he faked a resume, and then he was able to get a like internship for like a whole summer out there, just learning from like fucking
like designers, fashion designers,
fashion stuff. I don't know exactly the details, but yeah, he's always been hustling like that. Which is pretty cool. Like shout out to that for hustling like that.
Like actually making something happen for himself. I mean, lying on a resume, I don't know.
It was just for the internship.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta hustle the hustle.
Hustle the hustle.
I'll hustle the hustle. But yeah, he's I made a video for him which was like we went to the desert. He wanted to have like this like fashion show and like a runway, like a desert runway. Like he got a couple of his friends, and it was pretty cool. Like it was one of videos that I made from.
Right.
One of the first creative works. I've worked in him a lot. Like I made promos for 2, maybe 3. I think I made 3 promo videos for his clothing line. Like when he launched it, and then I shot the music video, and I helped him with this podcast too.
Oh, that's dope.
When he wanted to start his podcast, I kind of showed him how to edit a little bit, just like the basics, just move the audio and do this. And yeah, he's already almost like at episode 100 too with the
that's what's
podcast.
up.
So well, actually I'm lying. They restarted their podcast, so it was DNA Podcast, and then they rebranded to Heaven's Demons. So I think they're barely restarting it, but they kept the same channel and the same shit, just rebranded.
Okay. Well, I mean, as long as they're just consistent with it, I mean, that's all that matters.
Yeah, they record once a week, and they have a studio right here in downtown Indio, right here by CB Barbecue. I don't want to say where it's at. I don't know if they want me to put that information out there, but yeah, they're cool. I'm gonna have them on the podcast soon. I talked to them today, and I hadn't seen them in a minute, so it's cool like to catch up, introduce you to.
That's cool. Like, it's cool that people are like into different things. Like, I mean, people are into fashion and stuff like that. I don't know too much about fashion, to be honest. Like I barely just started getting into fashion, just for the sake of, like, I like simple fashion, like minimalist style, like style, you know, like wearing blank tees with no branding on it. Like that's because it's so versatile. Like you can wear like a simple t-shirt, like this t-shirt I could probably wear with a jacket, you know, there's no brand, whatever. And
you don't think about it. It's the mental. I hate fashion.
You hate fashion.
Like I wear nothing but shirts that people give me, or fucking like a cargo shirt or a black t-shirt. I'm the same way. I never buy expensive clothes. Yeah. I do, but the only thing expensive that I buy is like sports jerseys. Like jerseys.
Oh, but that's because you love sports, bro. And you know, like for the occasion too, it's like, how are you gonna show up to a Chargers game or to like a you know, without
that gear?
For real, bro.
They need all the support they can get.
For real, bro. Dude. There's been like, I don't know too many Chargers fans, to be honest. I really don't.
I know a few here in the Valley. There's a group of people here in the Valley. Okay. But for the most part, here in the Valley, it's all like Raiders. And
it's all Raiders.
Cowboys, 49ers.
Cowboys. Sometimes you get Packers fans too.
I always said this, like, if you're a Green Bay Packers fan and you live in California, you're Mexican, you have no affiliation to Wisconsin, Mexican. You shouldn't be a Green Bay Packers fan. Like, it makes zero sense.
Bro, the border is so far away from Wisconsin. Like, shit.
They can't even spell. They don't even know Wisconsin is on the map. Where's? Go to a Packers fan and be like, where the fuck do they play? They wouldn't even know on a fucking U.S. map. But they're bandwagon fans, bro.
Yeah, man.
Or Patriots fans too.
Patriots fans.
Are you a Patriots fan in California, bro? Like, and you're Mexican and you don't have any affiliation to fucking nobody that lives in Boston. No,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just like that's some bandwagon shit. So you got to stick to your teams, bro. Like I understand if you're a Raiders fan, a Cowboys fan. I mean, I guess they're kind of close, you know. So,
yeah.
but all those fucking crazy teams from across the country doesn't make sense.
It just for sure it has. I think what it is like people that watch sports for a while and they see like, oh, who's the best team or who's the best player, who has the best record right now. I mean, they just go for the best. I mean, they don't have any history of like they're just watching it. I think that's what it is like people that are like watching sports for like a certain season and a team happens to be good or like some player gets drafted that they ended up watching and they root for that team. But it's common. Dude, I remember clearly like as day I grew up, you know, watching the Lakers, you know, and everything like that. Just everybody was a Lakers fan, bro. Especially like that 09, 8,
yeah,
10,
when Kobe was repeating.
when that whole team, bro. Everybody was rocking.
But that's not a problem because we live so
no.
close to
But then the problem is like then after that whole team disassembled, like all of a sudden everybody became a Warriors fan when the Warriors were good, you know? Like
oh really? Everybody jumped shit.
Yeah, dude. Like even like I know this because it was happening at school. Like all of a sudden they were trading their Paul Gasol jerseys for a Klay Thompson jersey. Like what?
Well,
like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, dude. Like
I heard about that on Twitter. Like people were like, "Oh, where are these Warriors fans coming from?" Because they were fucking dominant during that era.
Yeah,
but yeah. It's just like stick to your teams. Like I stick to my teams even though they suck, and then I like to root for like other players and shit. Just whatever I like sports, and then my team's never won a championship. Like
do you think like the Chargers will ever like win a championship at least like soon?
I think so. I think right now with Justin Herbert. We have a better chance than with Phillip Rivers. Mm-hmm. So Phillip Rivers is awesome. I feel like he doesn't get enough credit. Everybody talks about Phillip Rivers being a choker, but like his team and the management just suck, bro. Like there's so many times where like kicking and special teams and just people like missing plays just cost
that
them games.
Offensive line,
and he never had an offensive line and he was just immobile. You know, he couldn't run for shit. So he was a good quarterback, but Justin Herbert has the arm and he could run. We have a modern offense.
Yeah.
We have a new stadium, which motivates people to try to come to LA, you know. And then now with the creator economy, I feel like players are coming to LA more than back then because now you have the opportunities to, how can I grow on social media? Let me go play for the Chargers. They're in LA. I could do all these collaborations with fucking influencers and make brand deals. So you're not relying on that paycheck where you would get injured and it's done.
Yeah.
You get drafted by the Chargers. Now you're like in the hub of fucking marketing. You're in the hub of influencers. So that's going to attract more free agents and more players trying to come here.
Okay.
So I think Justin Herbert, I think we're going to win a championship with Justin Herbert within the next his career, 10 years or whatever.
10 years.
We have a chance over the next 3 seasons. We have a pretty young squad and we revamped the offensive line. So I'm hopeful for this.
What did you think about Antonio Gates, like as a player? Because I remember watching him and I'm like, dude, this guy's a beast. Just like as a player, man, like Antonio Gates was for sure like when did he retire?
He retired, I think 2018 or 2017. Yeah. He just retired. He's the all-time leader in touchdowns as a tight end. Like nobody has more than him. So he doesn't get enough credit for the same thing that the Chargers don't have a lot of fans.
It's just the fact.
It's stupid, bro.
It's just the fact that we haven't won one Super Bowl, bro. That's all it is, bro. Like, trust me, we win one Super Bowl, all of a sudden
the whole narrative.
It changes the whole narrative, bro.
Exactly. Like Antonio Gates. So there's a lot of people. Jason Witten that plays for the Cowboys. He was like an all-time legend tight end. His numbers are nowhere close to Antonio Gates, like touchdowns and just dominance.
Right.
But he gets a lot of praise because they have a lot of fans. So it's like part of the whole media. So, for example, the Cowboys are playing. They have a lot of fans and stuff because the same thing, bandwagon shit from the 90s. They won like 4 Super Bowls in the 90s.
Yeah.
So all these people grew up because of the winning team. They became Cowboys fans. So they haven't won shit in like 25 years or 30 years, but they still have a lot of fans. So what happens is the media, ESPN and Fox, all their talk shows, they talk about the Cowboys. Oh, are the Cowboys going to be good this year? Oh, there's controversy with the quarterback. Or what do you guys think the Cowboys are going to do this week? Because a lot of fans watch those shows and a lot of people hate the Cowboys and then they watch those shows. So what happens is they're the only teams that are featured in these segments. Like
Ooh.
the Cowboys and LeBron and all these like topics, they're the only ones that they get talked about every single day. Like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, and there's always a Cowboy segment, which creates more buzz for the Cowboys and more fans and people that hate the Cowboys talk. But it doesn't give, like, there's no segments for Jaguars. There's no segments for the Chargers. There's no segments for, you know, like smaller teams. The Arizona Cardinals never get the spotlight, you know, from the media. So you can't grow those fan bases unless they're winning. So unless they're actually in the championship game that they're forced to talk about them. So I noticed that with the Chargers, like they made the playoffs. Even when they made the playoffs, they barely even talk about them. Even though they won like one game in the playoffs the last time against Baltimore, they barely talk about them. Like they don't even get the main segments because they don't get the ratings.
Yeah,
so
they don't get the ratings.
But it's like, how are you gonna build the ratings when you never give them a chance because you're just recycling the same fucking 5 teams?
I think we might see a flip, like a flip of script, like how you just said that now that they're with the creator economy, like you're gonna end up seeing more Chargers stuff. Maybe not on media. Maybe on social media, you know?
Social media, big time, bro. The Chargers have probably the best social media team in the whole world. Like,
I believe it.
I don't know if you've seen their Twitter, their Instagram. Dude, they make the funniest, like, memes, and they're on the spot. Like, and I think the leader for the creative team is, there's like a bunch of girls.
Yeah.
It's like a female-led team that run the whole social media, and it's awesome. Like they literally have the best social media team. Like every other team just copies their shit, and then they're in LA. You know, they pick like the best talented people, so they always do amazing content. So I think it's coming up. I think they just hit like 1 million followers on Twitter, and they hadn't reached that. It took them a while, so it's just gonna be slowly, especially with Herbert. So we're saying the next 10 years. All these kids that are growing up in LA, it's like, oh, Justin Herbert, he's fucking the next like young quarterback. So new stadium is gonna, and if the Chargers end up winning a lot of games because they have a good quarterback, every year it'll be a little bit more fans and more people coming out to see them. So that'll be a turnaround.
Dude, just that stadium though, like when I saw pictures of that stadium, it just looks so modern, dude. Like it's crazy. Like it's totally cashless too. The SoFi Stadium, like
it's just a modern stadium, the most expensive stadium in the world.
Most expensive?
It costs like $5 billion to make. So everything's like the most modern stadium in the world.
Wow.
We got to go to a game. Do you want to go to a game?
We should go one time, man. I mean,
I got to see the dates, but I do want to plan to go with like a bunch of people. I think that'd be fun just to go catch a game at the SoFi Stadium.
At the SoFi. Hey, we take a picture with the SoFi for the sponsors for the sponsor.
Sponsored by the SoFi, and we'd be a SoFi Stadium.
Rocking that SoFi merch if they have any, if they offer any.
You could probably get some shirts. Just I don't know. That's too repping. You can't be repping the fucking bank, bro, with this football game.
We'll be repping blue for sure, cause like the Chargers and whatnot. But yeah, dude, it's just like that stadium. I don't know what it is, man. It's just stadiums, bro. Like they often, like you can tell, man. Like when a stadium's like, oh shit, like it's for sure it's gonna pump up a crowd. Yeah. Or it's just like, you know, because like sometimes people are like feeling it, like it's the environment, you know.
Yeah,
like,
it's all about the experience, you know. These modern stadiums, they're built with like technology or like great architecture where the sound like hits into the field better to hurt the opponents, like teams and shit.
Dude.
What team?
I bet they have like bidets, bro, like those Japanese toilets. That's like some real modern shit, bro. Like that.
And literally modern shit. But I don't know if they probably have that shit in the suites, but not like in the general public. The people are too savage.
I believe that's the future, bro. That's the future. Like eventually, yeah. Well, yeah, bro. Like you got to think about it. Like, you know, especially during the
trees,
especially like during that whole toilet paper riot. Like, you know, people were
when it was the end of the world.
Yeah. Like when people were like buying and like stupid amounts of toilet paper just to hog it for some reason. Like I could see like why bidet. I mean, like
it's gonna take a while because it's they're expensive, and if you don't need to upgrade, you don't need to spend that money. And I mean, like why?
I think it's just people not being comfortable to use them because it's like, you know, it's like the fear of, I don't know,
the fear of what, bro? You're scared to use a bidet, bro?
I don't know. Some people are scared that they might like it. I'm just saying.
Hey, shit, you never know if you like it until you try it, bro. I've never used a bidet in my life.
Would you? Would you use a bidet?
I would use it. I would definitely use it. I just never had the opportunity. I'm
Yeah.
not around rich folk like that.
Man, that would be cool. I don't know. I've always been fascinated. I'm like, so this is what the Asian technology is up to.
Definitely not making enough PlayStation 5s.
That's not Sony's fault, bro. Oh, actually, no. That's not an Asian problem. That's
why are all the like PS5s delayed?
You know what? It has to do with the whole like manufacturing thing, outsourcing them
With the microchips, right?
With microchips, GPUs, the same thing, dude. Like it's just the whole market, bro. The whole tech, like.
So I was reading
whole tech industry is just being hit with that, like, bro. Even the new GPUs, new NVIDIA cards, bro. Like, just it's you saying that, like, because what the PlayStation 5s they're made, the chips are made from AMD, and AMD is like, like one of the they make GPUs and CPUs, basically the chips that it's a key component inside a computer. And right now, like because of like the whole COVID thing, and I think it was just even like some of the materials too, they weren't able to like outsource some of the materials to like make enough. So because of that, there's a high demand for these processors, like, because they're making every year, they're starting to make new processors faster, better. And then you take something, like these new processors, people want them, but they can't make them. So now the demand's high, and prices increase, and yeah. There's
a huge microchip problem in the world. So I didn't know that it contributed to this, but because we made everything to have a microchip, like toasters. I swear, toasters, microwaves. Fucking fridges, stoves, all that shit has microchips. So you have all these electronics, like household items, cars, appliances, trucks, microchips, PlayStations, Xbox, fucking phones up the ass, tablets, literally everything, watches, bro, like everything. Do they have fucking microchip rings and shit? It's all.
I don't think Apple has made that cool yet.
Fucking glasses. Oh, you know what I've been trying to get?
Those Bose glasses with the sound.
No. The one. No, I want. I was watching a vlog from Nico Milana, my favorite UK YouTuber. He does like because he does a lot of pranks. So he has glasses that record.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what kind of brand they are, but like he'll use them sometimes. So
like
he's
spy glasses.
Spy glasses. So he's recording from his lenses when he's like doing some prank and shit. So I want to get some shit like that to get that like POV. Make those TikToks.
Dude, that would be cool. Imagine you're just like recording, and all of a sudden like you just record some cool shit. I don't know. Like you just happen to record.
You just start an OnlyFans with the POV fucking headphones, bro.
Bro. Don't give them ideas.
Yeah, we told somebody asked us what we doing here because they saw us,
the worker.
Yeah, they're like, hey, what kind of content or what do you guys filming there? Because she didn't know what we were doing in the studio. And then I was like, you ever heard of the website OnlyFans? She was like, wait, what? She was all confused.
Bro, you tell that to anybody just like normally and they'll be thrown off. They're like, what?
Hey, OnlyFans, I think, started not as a explicit website. It was just kind of like Patreon.
Yeah, it was like Patreon.
Exclusive content for your favorite creators. Now it turned into that.
Yeah, so a bunch of like people got onto it. It's been up since I think 2014. Maybe even 2012, to be honest. It's been there for a while, like way back, bro. And I think it just hit a boom when, all the adult actresses, professionals got into the market and just started, getting in, saturating the field, and it's just built it. What's it called? They just started to build, their content on there, and now OnlyFans has that reputation, which is, I don't know, as a company, if that's the wisest decision, because like I don't know, There's like a whole spiel of like them trying to expand as a company, but it's hard for them because of like the content, that they're associated with. So yeah, it's hard for them to get funding, I think, because of that, because of the like lack of funding from the banks or something. I think they're trying to get a loan. I think that was a story, that they were trying to get a loan or they were trying to get some money from a bank, and the bank wouldn't approve of them because of the content. So I think that's, yeah, because there was a story a few weeks ago that supposedly OnlyFans was going to ban some content, some adult content, and it just didn't end up going because, I mean, most of their creators are making adult content, and so you take that away.
Yeah, where are they gonna make the money? Yeah, there was a big outrage from adult content creators.
Yeah, and I think
because they literally built their whole brand to trying to make some money doing that kind of thing.
It's a lose-lose.
It's kind of like a good opportunity because 2020, I feel like everybody wanted to do that because people were posting these receipts where they're making like $200,000 a month from fucking simps on OnlyFans, bro. It was getting crazy.
You know what? You know what's crazy? People that are not like from this generation, like other people, right? Like they call it like my generation, like the biggest generation of simps. Actually, you know what? I think about it. Like if we're the generation that has the worst simps, think about all the people that used to pay for phone sex. Remember? No. Like, yeah, like
bro, you got a point there.
Think about it. Like, bro, like if subscribing to an OnlyFans, right? Like if that makes us a simp, imagine the guy like 20 years ago who actually paid to hear somebody moan. Wherein nowadays we're paying, we're actually seeing the whole thing, like what's worse, what's worse? Like
you make an excellent point because people, that was a big industry, like those hotlines.
Hotlines.
Talk to a sexy girl today, fucking only charge you like $1 a minute to text this person. So that was a big industry, and at least with OnlyFans, you're getting actual content, I guess.
Yeah, like you're at least seeing the bigger picture.
What do you mean?
I'm not gonna say anything.
Anyway, so we're talking about OnlyFans.
Like, do you like, what do you think are gonna be the repercussions of like just anybody that's just doing that kind of content?
It's just it doesn't have repercussions because
like
it doesn't fucking matter, bro.
No,
like when you're 90 years old, is it really gonna matter that you were making content on OnlyFans when you're on your deathbed? Like no one's gonna care. Like if you're making your money now, so I don't have a problem with.
No, like I mean, like in a way, like you think eventually they might get taxed. Like, do OnlyFans people even get taxed? Like,
oh, they get taxed, yeah, for sure. Yeah, they get taxed because they're making hella revenue, and one thing that I saw was like some people they're overspending, but no, it's. You got to respect the hustle from people that have a OnlyFans or want that kind of content because you can only get that attention so far.
Yeah.
You get that attention, you monetize it as fast as you can because it's not sustainable. Like
it's not.
Your body's going to deteriorate over time. You're going to lose the sex appeal just because Father Time's undefeated, except against Tom Brady. But that's
Tom Brady. Tom Brady and LeBron.
Those fools don't age, though.
They don't age, bro.
Anyway, I think that's enough time about fucking OnlyFans. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think they'll take it out because you're losing so much. Literally, all your creators are doing OnlyFans content. How are you gonna like remove that?
Yeah, man. I think it's a lose situation. If they decide to, take out their biggest all their creators. I mean, most of their creators. It's gonna I kind of like thought that if they managed to take away all that. All those creators, they were gonna like OnlyFans was gonna lose its popularity. So it was a lose-lose situation. It's like either they do it for the money, but they don't get money because then they lose the appeal and the the status or whatever. It's just a lose-lose situation because like at the end of the day, it's like they could either just stay the same and monetize it. Just change like their terms. I think they ended up changing their terms.
Yeah, they changed their terms of service.
Right.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that on Patreon. It's Patreon. I think
Yeah.
Patreon. I think they banned that. Like they don't. Want people
They
doing
banned.
that on
Yeah.
Patreon. I have a Patreon account actually. I haven't really promoted it. I haven't even made a lot of content for it, to be honest.
Patreon's cool. It just depends, man. Like,
you know, I'm gonna share the video, the Mills video.
okay.
I share it on Patreon as like early access to the homies,
okay.
just because I gotta start doing some content for those.
Yeah,
first.
when it comes to like subscription services like that, we gotta like be pumping out content for sure, exclusive content, and each person has different tiers as well. So it's like, oh, this set of tier, like you get this access to this. It could even be like you could even chat with me, like they could even chat with you, take a photo with you, or do a video chat, or maybe they even be in a video. There's different tiers, different you set the rules. So it's Patreon's cool.
Yeah, I gotta look more into how to utilize that space, you know. As I've been struggling that, but I feel like we're in a good page. We've been creating a lot of content. I posted like 5 videos and I started filming today. I posted them all.
Oh, really?
I uploaded both of the coffee videos, the VHS filter and a vertical form.
Okay.
And I just copied it from the timeline and redid it in a horizontal form for YouTube.
Awesome. So
they're both options are there. I posted
Did you post it on Reels? Is there an option to post it on Reels?
on Instagram, huh?
Yeah.
On Instagram I posted on Reels.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's not about YouTube. So I posted it as a YouTube short.
Short.
Yeah, YouTube short. Then there's I posted some videos I had on private that I forgot, and then I don't know if I posted the Izzy one. Did I post the Izzy one? I feel like I did.
Okay.
We got the Izzy one. There's a lot of other stuff that we gotta post, but now we're gonna start creating that content. Like we gotta get into that this week. If you want to start shooting it, I feel like we should shoot for like a 2 minutes and 30 seconds each video. What do you
2
think?
minutes and
Each review.
Each review. Oh, okay. Yeah. Make it
because
fast.
like when you look up a review, you usually look for the shortest.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? That is true. Like like, do I really want to feel like do I really feel like I want to watch a 10-minute, 20-minute video, just a phone or like a light or like a microphone? Like, bro, just tell me, is it good? Is it worth the money? Okay, I'll spend it. Like,
yeah,
that's generally what people want to hear is like, is it good? Is it worth the price? Okay, like, just tell me what I need to hear, and then boom, like, simple, short, sweet.
Yeah, so I think we'll create the faster and a lot of B-roll, like really well done.
Oh, dude, we can even use some like footage from like your videos.
Oh, we have a lot of footage.
We have a lot of footage.
Music videos. We've done a lot of content.
Even
old stuff.
These podcasts too, bro. Like with the lights, mic, like.
Oh yeah, so we're gonna start creating that content. That'll be a content on its own on the Story Filming channel, and then that could be its own content. I know that one's gonna be dope because it's evergreen content. We're reviewing items, and then the podcast. Oh, it's crazy, bro. The next like 3-4 months are gonna get insane. I know. You're gonna get fucking start your school. You're gonna lose a lot of time.
I mean, I'll be open for the weekends, man. For sure.
No, I think we're doing good. I mean, we're only, I know the challenges are low. I think once we get the rhythm of these challenges, we'll be doing good. So we'll shoot for this weekend to finish off the graffiti stuff.
Yeah. So that's crazy though. I still trip out. Like we got to have that guy. Who was that guy's name?
Michael.
Yeah, Michael. Dude, we
talking about conspiracy videos,
aliens and whatnot. Dude, I didn't even know that stuff. Like that's some dope content. That's gonna be an upcoming podcast.
Yeah, aliens are a great topic because there's so much content on aliens that in so many different ways you could get into it. And it's a conspiracy, but there's also real. It's like there's something to it because every religion talks about
there's a culture like just about it, man. Just that alien culture, like even it's just fun, bro. Like it's just, I don't know. It's sci-fi too, you know.
You believe in aliens?
Aliens, yeah, man. I mean, why not?
What kind of aliens? So I believe in aliens and that we were visited at one point, but I believe it like in the ancient times. Not like they're still here. I feel like they're not here anymore. I feel like that shit was like thousands of years ago. I feel like I don't know if they altered our DNA, but for sure they helped us with knowledge on how to do shit. They taught us something because every religion has these like spaceships or like these gods came from the heavens and they fucking told them the commandments and all this other bullshit. There's all these same stories are in every religion, like some god or some figure came from the sky.
I kind of think about that, like in terms of the Great Pyramids. Like you have these different structures that happen to be all the same shape. Like you have the pyramids in Egypt, pyramids in Mexico, and like some other pyramids. Was it like you have pyramids in different locations, but they're like different geographical points. Like how you would think like different civilizations, right? Different cultures.
They're not even communicating.
They're not even communicating at the time. You know, technologically speaking, how did they manage to like make them?
Yeah,
the same
it makes zero sense for them to have these perfect structures without help from aliens.
Yeah.
But that's like, it's either that or we're missing like so much history with technology that got lost over time, which a lot of the flooding or natural disasters could have depleted that stuff.
What's your favorite alien movie?
My favorite alien movie has to be Edge of Tomorrow. Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow.
Okay.
Came out like 2014 with Tom Cruise and Charlize Theron. No. It was Emily Blunt.
Okay.
Emily Blunt as the boss bitch, and then we had Tom Cruise. So that movie was cool because the whole time it was like the aliens were like these like time warping fucking creatures and shit, and they were like destroying the world, and the whole world was fighting them. And it was kind of like they already had lost some continents, but at one point like Tom Cruise gets recruited into the army. He doesn't know how to shoot shit, and he ends up killing like one of the alphas of the alien species. Ooh. And then the acid falls into his face. But then he like wakes up again where he had started his day. So basically it reset his day. Okay. So every time he died, he would just restart again. He would die, he would restart. He would die, he would restart because you haven't not seen it? No, I have not. Dude, this movie's amazing. So it's like Groundhog Day, one of those like the story repeats like every day, and it's like now he tries different shit because he's the only one that knows that. So that movie's fucking fun, bro. Like I could watch that all day. And like I said, growing up, I used to like Independence Day. Yeah. And of course, there's all kinds of alien films. But for now, I think Age of Tomorrow is my favorite alien movie.
Man, my favorite alien movie has to be, bro, I gotta take it like OG, bro, like the Predator, man.
Predator back in the day.
Predator, like, yeah, man, like even just the French, or like, to be honest, people hate on this one, but the Predators, like the one in 2010, I remember watching that for the theaters. I like that concept because it was just like, the intro of that, it was just like the guy falling out of the sky, like what the hell, like no story, like no, it was just like boom, the action, and I like that story. So I like the Predator, the original, because like it led me to liking the series and like just the franchise. But like Predator, like dude, like the story, the theme of like this big hunter, like you have Arnie, you know, at the time in his prime, bro, like just they were in Mexico, that's where they shot the movie. It was like in some forest in Mexico, but they labeled it like in the movie as South America, I think.
Yeah, I think it was South America. They had
Carl Weathers.
Did they do? No, that was Alien vs Predator, where they had like the Aztec.
Yeah, that was Alien vs Predator, and that
Aztec intro.
The Aztec, that shit was bad, dude. That was like people hate on that movie so much, but I just like the story of like how we happen to like that. It's kind of like what we were talking about earlier, like how like the aliens, they were just like they taught us, because the aliens, they taught, like they kind of like conquered humans, but they like taught them how to fight, like how to fight and stuff like that. So yeah, then they left, and I don't know, man. Like it's just something about the Predator, like how, and like they have like an honor system too, so they're kind of like warriors, like they won't.
Yeah, so they're like warriors, but they're like stealth and they're hunters. You know, I think that's so cool because that's something that you like. Is there something out there watching me? You know, when you get that presence, like I don't know, something's watching me. Yeah, like that. They're basically that alien monster or a monster that you don't know what it is. You can't even see them because technology, and they're fucking bad. Like that's cool.
That's why I like the movie so much, because you see in like the theme of this movie was like the Predator, he was like so advanced with this technology, and like the guy, you know, is a modern soldier, he had to resort to like primitive technology, man. Like he made a bow and arrow out of wood and sticks, and he had to like cover himself with mud just to blend in with the environment. Like, bro, it was just like the guy had to resort to primitive technology to beat the most advanced, species, and that's what made it cool. And plus, it's Arnie, bro. So how the hell are you gonna defeat the Terminator?
Yeah, and that movie's fire. Alien movies are great. I like a good alien movie. They had a recent one with Chris Pratt that came out on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
What was the name?
Shit.
Damn, I forgot the name of that movie. But yeah, it's I watched it. It was okay. It had a decent premise. Like the premise was cool.
Uh-huh.
But a lot of the shit in that movie made no sense, bro. Like it was a time travel movie. Aliens and time travel, but it just made no sense. It had a cool concept. I'm gonna spoil it because it's already been out for a while.
Okay.
So basically, the year 2025.
Oh, that's soon.
No, 2026.
It's pretty soon.
I'm sorry.
2022.
22. So 2022 in December. It was December, and then they were watching the World Cup in Qatar because the next World Cup is gonna be in the winter because Qatar's too hot to be playing in the summer. So they're all gathered like around, like everyone's wearing like Christmas stuff because it's around Christmas, and they're watching like Brazil versus somebody, like I don't know if it's the World Cup final or something, and then out of nowhere there's like a Brazilian that's about to score or something, and then like in the middle of the field like this cloud appears like fucking, and these soldiers come out, and then everyone's like, what the fuck, like what is this? And then they kind of started like, oh, do not be alarmed, like we're from the future, we're humans, and we're fighting this war, but we need your help, like we're losing the war and we need more soldiers and this and that. And there's like, what the fuck? So that's kind of like the start of the movie.
Dang.
It's kind of dumb to come to the past to recruit more soldiers when you could come to the past and try to solve the problem that's going to attack you in the future. You know what I mean? Like, instead of just like coming back to kind of prepare us for the war, they come back to recruit soldiers. So here's the catch. Is like they say they're going to try to match random people into this like world draft where they're drafting different people. So they're drafting people that are already dead when the aliens attack, because they don't want to mess up with the timelines. And then the soldiers they send back, they're all young, which means they were not born in the year 2022 when they came back. So they were born after. So they're never in this timeline. And then the people that go to the future as soldiers, they're already dead in that timeline. So that's like their justification for recruitment. But then like this whole thing doesn't make sense, because why recruit people when you're coming to the past you should just solve the problem. Like, just fucking, oh, they're attacking us and we're losing the war. Here's how we need to ramp up, or like how do we prevent this? So basically the aliens came and they started attacking like in 2040 something. I don't know the dates, but it was like 20, 30 years later. They started in Russia, like in the middle of like winter Russia, and they started spreading and they just started killing everybody, and they're like bulletproof and shit. So like you gotta hit them like only like on their necks or like all kinds of shit. And they know it started in Russia, like an asteroid or something. They never found where it started. So basically, at the end of the movie, like, well, Chris Pratt gets recruited to the future, and he's fighting, and like it's almost like there's only like 200,000 people in the world left. Like it's down to the last resources. But they find a cure to like kill the aliens and all kinds of stupid shit. But anyway, the way the movie ends is like Chris Pratt goes to Russia, where the beginning of the attack started. So there's like, what if the aliens? So basically, it's 30 years in the future. So where the aliens started is frozen. So what they're saying is with global warming, that shit was already in the ice. So it never actually came from space. It was something that was frozen, like an alien ship crashed into the ice. 30 years later, fucking global warming happened, and then the shit got like released. So these fools go in like present time. They go to Russia to try to find it, and then they find it like right away, like in the millions of acres. They find it fucking super fast.
It's a movie, bro.
Yeah, it's a movie. And they find the alien ship, and then there's 2 dead aliens. Like there's like pilots, and then they had all these eggs of all these killer fucking aliens. So there was like another species. So it's kind of, maybe they can make a sequel based on like who the fuck were these people, because there was like 2 pilots that were dead, and then all these other different aliens were the ones that were killing everybody. Those eggs. So they end up like destroying the ship or whatever. But that was the movie. Was like, it's kind of global warming, kind of trying to say like global warming is happening, and what if we? But it was a decent premise, but it made no sense. Like, why recruit soldiers from the past when you could just come and fucking solve the problem?
Yeah.
It just made no sense.
That's basically how Chris Pratt became Star-Lord.
What made no sense?
Yeah. Nah, man. I mean, like that's man. That actually raises the question: is like, do we don't even know what's like frozen in Antarctica, right? Is it Antarctica where we can't even go? Like,
Yeah, that's the place where it's literally banned. You can't even go there because all the governments, basically, there's like a international UN,
Mhm.
like the military's there in any way ship. Like you can't even go explore as a fucking person. So
I mean,
what the fuck are they hiding? You know?
Yeah, well, like either way, it's like the conditions to even explore too. Like it's fucking cold over there too, so like you really need like endless supply, not endless, but a lot of supplies of food, and you better have like a really good cold jacket, bro. I'm talking about like you gotta like do some Jedi shit and like cut up like some animal and like live in its guts. Like I don't know if you ever get stranded. It's a Star Wars reference.
That's a reference from The Revenant too. Leo DiCaprio.
Oh, really?
Fucking opened up a horse and he slept inside the horse
Oh shit.
because he was fucking cold and shit. But anyway, yeah. So the government doesn't even let you explore, so
Yeah.
they're hiding something. You know, there's something there for sure.
Yeah.
And maybe they already found something. They don't want nobody to find out. Like, what if there's something there?
Yeah, dude. Was it Kong? Was it Kong? That Godzilla movie? I think it was like they showed a scene of like some spaceship and it was like frozen. Was it, I don't know what I'm. Was it that movie? I remember I saw this movie and they just like discovered some frozen animal or something like that, and like it's like, oh, we better take care of this before that the ice melts. So like
It was Godzilla.
Godzilla.
It was one of those like Mothra
Mothra monsters.
Yeah, they were like frozen and then they kind of like thawed it out and then it was still alive and shit. So yeah, that's an interesting concept. I think that's been explored in movies like Godzilla and shit.
Yeah.
We don't know what the fuck's there. I mean, we're barely finding things. You know, they're still discovering new ancient ruins that are like
especially in the Amazon, dude.
Okay, look, you have the Amazon, which is vast. The ocean, number one. We don't know what's in the ocean because the ocean hasn't been explored. And shitty roads, too, so a lot of shit got lost over time. Then you have the Sahara Desert, which used to be green. Like, I think, like, 15,000 or 20,000 years ago. The Sahara Desert was, like the Amazon, like, all fucking forest. And right now, it's, like, just all fucking sand. So what's buried under the Sahara Desert? Like, we don't know what kind of civilizations lived there fucking 20,000 years ago. Then you have the Amazon, which is so vast as well. Like they're still finding shit there.
There's like golden temples or something like that.
Yeah, there's so much shit all over the world. And then Elon Musk wants to take us to Mars and shit. Like, bro, fucking let's explore here.
Let's explore here. Damn, bro. You know what? There's something about exploration that just it's fascinating. Like I look back at some of the concepts, like even some of the video games like Uncharted, like what was cool about like finding old stuff, even Indiana Jones.
I wanted to because of Jurassic Park, I wanted to be an archaeologist. I was like, I'm gonna go with a little pick and a little fucking brush to look for fucking fossils. Like I wanted to do that when I was a kid, but then when I grew up, I was like, how the fuck do these people make money? Like, how do you make money as an archaeologist? It makes no sense.
I mean, you might get like some sort of deal from like some museum, maybe.
Oh, I think it's like those scientists. They get funding from universities and shit, like for research, huh?
Yeah, like
grants and
like Indiana Jones. Like he was like a professor in some like university or some college, and he's an archaeologist. So like he goes and travels, but that's like movie. But in real life, it might be like that.
I think they get grants. So I saw a video talking about how these research papers that these like scientists do, they do crazy research on controversial topics.
Yeah.
But it's all done with an agenda. So the universities are teaching certain curriculum and the teachers have to follow that curriculum, right? The professors. And then the professors, if they want to do studies, you can't challenge the status quo because you're not going to get the funding that you need to go do that research because like we're saying, who's going to pay for that research? So you got to do things that are within the boundaries of what the university's teaching, what the mainstream's teaching.
Yeah.
Whoever's making the paycheck is leading to that scientist to do that research only to, like if you try to do something that's out of the box, you might lose your funding. So you don't want to take those risks. And I never thought about that shit. And that sounds crazy because then like how accurate are these scientific research papers? Because I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Whoever controls the wallets, controls the money.
The narrative.
Yeah, controls the narrative, controls the...
It's all about the media, bro. It's all... You just got to control the narrative, but...
What's your narrative?
That's got to beat the status quo.
So, speaking about money, not a lot of people know too much about money. I know, like, I'm definitely, like, heavily invested into, like, a lot of the books that I'm reading. Like, I'm reading the most basic...
Researching about...
I started off reading Rich Dad Poor Dad. I got recommended. I think Izzy recommended me to reading it, but I've heard it was like so good, and it is, man. I read it, I got it for like $2, bro, at the thrift store. So it's like, it's a steal in my opinion. But it's more of like, if I could explain that book, it was more of like kind of like not theory, but it wasn't like telling you what to do. It was just more of like a thought process, like what kind of mindset
looking at the world differently.
Yeah, from a different perspective. And after like reading and just educating myself about money, because like growing up, man, like you're just told, like, and my parents were immigrants, right? So growing up, they had that mentality, like, oh, go here, be a worker, make money, and then use that money to like buy stuff. But we never really had conversations about like investing, or like, I just thought money was just something used to buy stuff.
Yeah.
Growing up, that's what I had. But then as I started to educate myself about money, I'm like, dude, like, this is game changer. Like, how I could see why so many people come to this country, man. Because like we have different sections in our country, like using credit, man. Credit, the fact that we can use, just let alone like having credit to like a credit system that's cool, that the more credit, the higher your credit score is, the more people are gonna lend you borrow money, and like you could use that money to like invest into something you've always wanted to do, like a business or just something cool, like pay off for a house, like that's cool. And
yeah, credit system is definitely game changer, because you're able to use other people's money. You're using the bank's money to create your own wealth, and then you buy assets. Then you could use those assets to get less taxes. You could get loans based on your assets to buy more shit, and it just increase your overall wealth. So it's a good way to use debt. Like a lot of people use credit, and they just they buy dumb things like Gucci belts and fucking sneakers, like some Yeezy fucking clothing line that we're talking about. But if you're using
limited, bro, the clothing's limited.
Hey, you might make some money flipping that shit if you get it early. But yeah, it's you use credit to buy things that are gonna make you more money. Is it a business investment? Is it property? Is it assets? Is it cryptocurrency? Is that cricket?
Yeah, bro.
The fucking predator dog coming to the top. Yeah, so credit's awesome. And then this country gives you a lot of opportunities. Capitalism kind of runs the whole
it's good, man. I mean, like in school, we're kind of like, I don't know what it is, man. Like it's just like a lot of kids, like, I don't know what this whole spiel is with socialism and all that stuff. It sounds good, but it ain't. It ain't, man. Like with capitalism, like you talk about innovate, like you can't have innovation. You can't have an iPhone. You can't have like all these cool technologies or all this development. Like the market dictates what happens, man.
Yeah, socialism is good on paper, but we've seen. So I've been like capitalism. Like I love capitalism because if you work hard and you have a right strategy, and you're a good person, some luck involved, you're gonna thrive. Like you might not make $1 billion, like that's hard, or $1 million or 10 million.
You could make it in this country.
Well, you could make $300,000 if you really work hard. $100,000, even Some people are good with like $70,000, $80,000, $50,000. You know, like whatever you want to do, you could achieve it with capitalism, the opportunities that they give you. Now, socialism, back in 2019.
2019.
So Andrew Yang, he was a political candidate out of New York. Yang, bro. I supported that fool's theory because I read his book. Well, I listened to him on a podcast. Then I read his book, and his basic premise was most people, like in the middle class or even the lower class, they want to start businesses. They want to do these things, but all the money that they're making is barely enough to pay for the rent, to pay for the kids, like supplies for school. You know, like they don't have enough money to start that business or save up enough to, you know, to improve their life. So he wanted to give people $1,000 a month. He's like, if you give people $1,000 a month, which is $12,000 a year, below the poverty line, because the poverty line is at $12,600, so you're not even giving them that much money. It's just that extra boost. So if you're middle class, you're making all your payments on time, you're doing good, you have a good credit score, and then you're getting an extra $1,000 a month. That's enough money for you to start your side business. Now, oh shit! Now I could buy research, I could buy materials, I could buy this. And it sounded amazing. I was like, this fool kind of sold me on this. Like, it's true though. Like, if I had an extra $1,000, I'll be buying more gear, more cameras, more mics. You know, I'll be doing fucking marketing, all of the shit that's coming in. But 2020, 2021, we actually saw it in practice.
We saw that practice. We saw the stimulus, man.
And right now, the biggest issue we have is a labor shortage because people don't want to work because they got the stimulus checks.
Yeah.
So basically, his whole theory kind of went out the door because people, once they started getting the stimulus, once you started getting the free unemployment, that shit didn't work.
Yeah, man, because you can't what's it called? Like, you can't solve the. It's all about mindset. Like what I've learned about like these from the books that I've been reading. It's all like we spend, like all our purchases are done emotionally. Like it's like psychologically, like we buy on emotion, and whatnot, and so. Whenever we purchase stuff, it's usually done. It's a emotional transaction that we make to make that transaction. So it's more about like a mental. So like we have sometimes people have bad spending habits. Like they buy on impulse, or they buy because like I said, on impulse, or some people panic buy. Even investors too. How many people panic buy or panic sell because the market's going down. You know, you can't solve it's not just like a one-sided solution where it's like, oh, we have to give more money, but like, are those people educated enough? Are they self-aware enough to use that money? Because money, in the sense, it's not, yes, it's currency, but it's a tool. You know, it's just, it depends. And, you know, money's personalized, so everybody, you know, makes their own choices, but it's all about being smart with your decisions. Like, am I going to spend this money on something that I don't need? And a lot of people don't have that conscious mindset where it's like, am I going to spend on something that's going to help me elevate, like invest? Some people have the consuming mindset. Some people have the investing mindset. These are two different mindsets. And I think that's just something that we don't really... I mean, nowadays, like we probably see now with more YouTube channels like Graham Stephan and you know, other YouTube channels, but like the conversation is, do those people that got the stimulus checks, were some of the, I mean, and you could have some exceptions to the rule. You know, some people actually did use that money to invest, but let's be honest, the majority probably didn't.
Yeah, like 1% invested that money, then 30% just fiat money, you know, like they just want that cash. They went to buy. I saw a lot of people buying like shoes, and people were posting on Instagram, oh, the stimmy came in, I bought, like they went shopping. It's just like, bro, like, come on. Like there's an account on Twitter. It says, how much is your Bitcoin worth today? It's like stimulus and Bitcoin or something like that. So every day they post, like, if you would have invested the original $1,200 that day buying Bitcoin, the day they gave out the stimulus in March or April, right now it'd be worth like almost like $16,000. That $1,000 would have been like 10x your money if you would have invested it at that time. Of course, there's people that really needed that money to survive. You know, like people lost their jobs. We didn't know what was happening, the end of the world. So it is case by case basis. Even if you wanted to invest, like sometimes you have priorities. So I understand that. But going back to Andrew Yang, the counter argument for his is yes, there's people gonna take advantage of the system, but the reason that we don't have employment right now and there's a lack of employees at every section is because it's not incentivized. You're incentivized to stay home and not work because you're getting the extra money from unemployment. Right. But if you start working, you lose that benefit. But with the Andrew Yang, the freedom dividend that he was calling it, which he was gonna make that funding, like where's that money gonna come from? He wanted to tax Google, Facebook, Apple, and the major Tesla.
Yeah. Major tech companies.
So tax them because they're using our data and we're not getting paid for our data. Like every time you Google, every time you use YouTube, they're using our data. And Facebook is making money from our data. Yeah. And we're not getting a cent out of it. So his reasoning was we tax these companies who are taking advantage of the people. And then that money's funding into the stimulus checks, which is coming back to the people, which is going to make people spend more. I get an extra $1,000. I'm going to upgrade my iPhone every year. Right. I'm definitely going to upgrade my iPhone. I'm going to get the new laptop. I'm going to do some ads. I'm going to go take a vacation and spend money on travel.
It's like a constant cycle.
Yeah. So you're just putting money into the economy and it's flipping. And there's going to be those people that are going to get those $1,000 and start a business or investing. Now, what he mentions, because people are like, oh, but then how are you going to incentivize people? Is it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're going to get the $1,000. So a millionaire that's making $100,000 a month, he's still going to get the $1,000. A fucking homeless guy is going to make $1,000. And it doesn't matter if they're working or not, they're going to get the money because it's coming from the internet companies. Right. Versus right now unemployment, you're incentivized to not work or you're incentivized to not make a certain amount of money because you're going to lose your fucking food stamps. A lot of people are stuck in the cycle where like they make enough money where they're still on their like food stamp, but they don't want to make a little more money because they're going to lose those fucking benefits instead of thinking long term, like, oh, I'm going to keep increasing my, you know what I mean?
It's that scarcity mindset of because, like losing.
Because you're incentivized to not, it has the loser mentality, but it's also incentivized for you not to try because you're going to lose those benefits. So what Andrew was saying is like, it doesn't matter. You're going to get those benefits in either way. Might as well work harder and you're still getting more money. So there's that positive argument, but then it's like also it doesn't work. Yeah. So it's just kind of hard.
It makes man. One, I would just think those companies would just find a way to like not pay, because I mean big companies or like big rich people always find a way to like not pay their share. I wouldn't say not pay their share, but they definitely pay their share, because like I think it's like the upper class, they pay like over 40% of taxes, right?
Yeah. So here in America, 85% of all taxes that the government collects is from the 1%. Yeah. 85%. They're taking the big load.
Oh wow.
So it's like, yeah, they're already paying a lot of money. So people want to tax the rich more, but they're already paying for 85% of all taxes. So it's like, where do you draw the line? Like even you're getting to that place where you're like making a lot of money and you're like, why would I even make more money? I'm just gonna like not make anything because the government's taxing it all. So it's just like you can't take it too far with the taxing, I think.
It's that Robin Hood mentality. It's like tax the rich, but it, you know, like these people are entrepreneurs, right? Like they're bettering society. Like, what are you doing? Are you just you know what I mean?
Like keyboard warriors on fucking Twitter talking about eat the rich and shit, but while these fools are solving problems and buying and taking risks and all this shit, and just like, come on, bro.
So I think it's just like we don't get taught like how to use money, to be honest. Like in school, you always hear that argument like, oh man, I wish they would have taught this at school, like about taxes, like how do taxes work, how should I like use money, like what's a 401k, what's a Roth IRA, like you didn't really hear any like these, you never had teachers talk about money, you know, like at all. Like
it was a taboo subject.
It was a taboo subject.
Subject. They never wanted to get into it. Maybe because the teachers don't even know themselves, bro. Like they didn't get taught that shit too. So there's a lot of teachers out there that they don't have financial literacy, and because they the whole time they went to same public school, they went to university to get the teaching degree, and then that same shit happens. You know, like now there's a lot of sensitivity because some students are more privileged than the others. So that's why sometimes too you don't want to like cross lines. I think they play it safe.
Well, like, but wouldn't the wouldn't like privileged kids go to like a private school either way? Like,
Yeah, that's true. But it's no, but in high school you still have people have. You could tell like some people have
okay.
more money than
Yeah.
others. You know, the people are buying like fresh clothes
Yeah.
and flaunting and shit.
yeah. But like, I just think nowadays, man, like financially literacy, me personally, I don't find it too hard. Like, bro, if you have YouTube, like,
Yeah, but it's because you have a drive to learn.
but that's
Most people aren't doing like
that-
you're consuming content. You're reading book. How many motherfuckers your age are reading books, bro? How many of your peers are fucking reading
But
books?
if it doesn't have a sexy chick on it, I don't know.
Or like maybe
some
anime at the most, but you're invested into reading and learning and self-help, and you're watching videos on these fools are watching David Dobrik fucking vlogs, and they're watching some stupid show on Netflix and watching that stupid
The information's out there, man. I just think like, well, everybody has like different reasons why they do stuff, right? And some people don't care now, but like people, I always think like people are like in a different stage of their life. You know, like some people are just like in their, oh, whatever, I'm in my fuck it stage, right?
mhm.
You know, like where you're a kid, you take advantage of the time, and then some people just wake up and now they're trying to fix some shit, but now they're
Yeah,
like,
there's some people that never wake up.
you know.
Yeah,
And so
it's hard.
when did you become financially literate? Were you always financially literate because like your dad?
So I came from a small business, so we've
Yeah.
had the small business. So I mean, I would see them like they're making checks like every fucking
Checks,
weekend, bro.
okay.
So that we're making big jobs and they're paying all the workers and buying
Mhm.
materials. And I would go buy the materials sometimes. Like they give me the credit card and shit. So I was always like around
money.
around
Managing.
transactions, spending. Bro, like I spend fucking a lot of money every fucking week, bro.
Every week.
Like
on
last week I spent like $20,000.
On
It's all
just
business,
materials?
just materials.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm buying tile, buying thin set, buying all kinds of.
Is there like a
materials.
specific store you buy your materials, or do you like just like go through manufacturing, or you?
Yeah, so no, it's just depending on the homeowner. So
Oh, okay.
we do an estimate, they buy the material, or they like it from the store. We ended up buying material, then I gotta pay for. So it's all kinds of like stuff. So I'm paying gas, the materials, the delivery fees. Like we're doing all kinds of transactions back and forth. So every week, every month, I'm spending a lot of money. Sometimes it's fucking just thousands. That was like enough normal. I don't spend that much, but yeah, thousands. So I'm used to just fucking spending money, and then you collect checks, but it's like the whole money just cycling. So
Yeah.
I've been around that for fucking 10 years since I've been out of high school.
Mhm.
So for me, I didn't have the investment though. So the business side and spending money and the cash flow for the business,
Right.
like I've been around that for 10 years. But as far as like investments,
Investments.
I had to do that on my own. Like of course, real estate. Like I had real estate. I've always known, kind of like the Monopoly game.
Right.
You know, you buy a house. So I have an aunt and an uncle that own like 3 houses, and they have like rent. They collect rent and stuff. So I've known about that. But as far as like stocks and of course crypto, like nobody fucking knew about crypto.
Yeah.
So all that shit was like 2017, then 2018. That's when I began to do research. So
Yeah.
I believe 3-4 years at the most.
Yeah. What's funny is I didn't like. Well, one, you're the first person to teach me like even talk to me about cryptocurrency. Like I remember when I asked you like, hey, what's Bitcoin and like all this stuff, and you explained it like in a way I was like, what the hell? And then like I just started to do more research about it. So you were the first person to actually like bring in the conversation about cryptocurrency and Ethereum and all this, and like what a blockchain was. Like I didn't even know that was like a word.
Yeah.
Blockchain. It's like, what the hell is that? Is that a transformer? No, but like yeah. Like financially, just like stocks and all that stuff. Today I was watching a video, Graham Stephan video, to him talking about index funds. How it's, I think it was like, so the difference between mutual funds and index funds is that index funds you buy like a stock, kind of like a stock, right? So like you have, you buy a bundle of stocks from like
the
big
top,
company,
the top performing stocks.
S&P 500, the top 500 companies, right? and you buy that, but it's more like for long term, right? So you have a percentage of each of those companies that are spread out. So instead of just owning one stock, you own multiple, but you own a certain percentage. Now you have to go into it with the hopes of you buy those stocks, and in the long term, like in 10, 30, 20, 40 years, the market goes up and you turn a profit. Mutual funds. Oh shit, technical difficulties. Mutual funds, it's like the other way around, where you have professionals, stock pickers that are choosing and everything, and that comes with high fees. That comes with high fees, but the thing is with that is close to like 17% of people, like there's a study, I think it was like 22% of professional stock pickers over a 10-year study were able to beat the market in a 10-year like lifespan, which is not a lot. Like, so basically the like most of these professionals coming from Ivy League schools, right? The top, like they're studying finances, economy, economics and all that stuff. They had a hard time like trying to time the market. And it's that saying, Warren Buffett, he's the top, like the best investor of all time, right? Time in the market beats timing the market. So
yeah.
And I think that's what we kept seeing, throughout this whole time of like just even this cryptocurrency stuff, even though it's like a new kind of form of trading and investing, it's still similar because like, yeah, we have these bull runs and we have these really good times of like investing, like, oh, when's a good time to invest, bro? The longer you invest, the better you have a return. And I found this out too because I was playing this Rich Dad Poor Dad has this game. It was like this Rich Dad Poor Dad game where like it was just you investing. It's like the simulation of you invest. So like you're given like months and dates. Like, oh, this day you're given a scenario. You watch the newspaper. It's like some scenario. You invest in gold. Oh, and then like you see like the drops and ups. So like it could be like, oh, this event happened. There's like a shortage of like mining workers, so
yeah, the fluctuate goes up,
fluctuates goes down and up, and you have like debt and like payments to make too. So you're given a job, and like you have to like pay.
That sounds cool. I never played this.
Yeah, it's like it's a little game. It's on the App Store. You could search for it, but it's like a little and the whole premise was to teach you that if you wait long term, and that's what I spent like 2 days playing this game because I was like, I'm trying to find the premise of here, because you're trying to pay, the goal is to pay off your debt, and to like become financially free in that sense. But the premise was like, whatever you invest, you always invest for the long term. I mean, yes, you can invest, make your money here and there, but you're not gonna get the final, like you're not gonna reap like the good rewards, like if you just think short term, like, oh, I'm gonna invest into this and I'm only gonna pull out in the next 3 months. Like, no, that's not how it works. And that's one of the things too. When I got into crypto, like I started checking my phone every day, and it just took away like that mental energy, man. Just like, because it kind of like there's times where it's like, oh man, the market's up, I want to sell this, but then I'm like, you know what? No, just hold on, because like you never know, man.
Yeah, I've learned.
Long
term.
You learned the hard way, man.
I lost a lot of money trying to swing trade and day trade, and a lot of mental capacity was just like I would have just bought it and then forget about it. And I fucking came up to that realization till probably like 2020 last year. Oh, well, actually 2019.
2019.
Yeah. So late 2019. So I had some trades that went bad, and I was like, "Fuck!" I just decided to just go. I'm just gonna go long term, and that's when I began to do more research on crypto. 2020 got more into crypto, especially when everything just tanked. I was like, "Oh fuck, this is an opportunity, bro!" Like I kind of decided, like, you know what, like I need to go all in on crypto because it just makes so much sense as a technology. Like it's so early, where you go talk to anybody, they don't even know what crypto is. They maybe have heard of Bitcoin, but they have no idea. and it's like so early and just in a world scale. So for me, it was like long term. I don't care if Bitcoin goes down next year. It goes down the next 2 years, but I know that the next 10, 15 years, Bitcoin's gonna be worth like over $500,000, like easily. Some people are saying $1 million based on the projections. Some people are saying even more than that, like in the next 20, 30 years. So Bitcoin's gonna continue to mine until like 120 years from now. So every 4 years, Bitcoin mining is gonna cut in half the rewards, which means less rewards and more people into crypto, more people using Bitcoin. The price goes up.
Yeah.
And you never had a fixed asset like that, because even gold, like you were saying, there's miners and all this.
Yeah.
Bitcoin doesn't have that problem because it's just tied into the network. Yeah. There's a limited supply of 21 million.
The code is
it's done. So it's just common sense that's just gonna go up. And then Ethereum right now has been blowing up.
Oh yeah, like Ethereum 2 came out. Did you get the notification that it came out? Ethereum 2.
Oh, 2.0?
Yeah, 2.0.
It's out?
Yeah, it's out.
Oh shit.
At the time that I checked, it was not like able to trade or like make any transactions or something like that. Like I don't know. Like it wasn't usable. Like you could see it, but it wasn't active.
So I see it on Coinbase. They have like you could stake your Ethereum for ETH 2.0. You get 5% back a year. Actually, I staked all my Ethereum.
You staked it all?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm not touching it, so I'm making 5%. I'm making 5% regardless of price goes up or down.
Right.
Of course, if it goes up, I make more return. Right. But 5% on top of appreciation, that's just like I just thought it was like pretty.
That's just more
money. And then you get rewarded in ETH, so you're gonna get rewarded in shit that's worth more.
Shit for real.
And then that shit compounds because over time, those 5%, you earn those back, and then maybe you put in a little bit more.
Right.
So over time, like that could be a like passive income. So one way that I wanted, that's like my goal, is to have passive income through stocks or crypto, where I'm making like $2,000-$3,000 a month just on dividends, because you need a lot of money.
Yeah.
But that's like the goal, because you'll be living off that on top of other shit you're doing. Right. So that's like one stream of income. Is one, if you have a large portfolio, whether it's crypto, whether it's stocks, or whether it's real estate, whatever it is, you could always get loans. So don't spend your own money. If you really need money, don't sell your assets. I don't know if it was from Robert Kiyosaki or who the fuck did I learn that from? I don't remember, but you never want to sell your assets, because you sell your asset and then you don't have shit. So
you don't have passive income.
Well, you could get a loan, a lower percentage, because you have something to back it up. So if I go to the bank and I'm like, oh, can I get a loan for $100,000? I have $100,000 in assets. They're gonna give you a low percentage, like APR, because you're backed up by something. In case you can't like pay it, they could take your asset. You know? And then you use that money, and if fiat money, which is like the dollar's losing money every year, the money that you're gonna get, so $100,000, you could use that to buy a business. You could use that to invest this in something else that's gonna be making you 8-10% a year, while you're only paying the bank 2%. So now you just borrow $100,000, you're paying the bank 2%, but you're making like 15% on that investment. So you borrow money to make more money, and technically you're in debt, but in the long term you're making money just on the percentages.
You're paying it off. You're gonna pay it off eventually. Like that's what people care about. Like
and then it just compounds from there, because now in 5-10 years you pay it off. Now you have $300,000 in assets. Then you get a bigger loan to buy a fucking property for Airbnb. Another business,
credit boost,
a laundromat that's gonna get, you know what I mean? It's like the money game is like, the more money you have, it's easier to make more money, which just kind of sucks, but that's what you just gotta work hard right now.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Like especially these times, man. Like everybody's like hiring, man. Like every business that I pass by is like everybody's hiring.
Big time, every business.
Big time. So like take that time, man. Like if you need a job, get a second job, man. If money's tight. If money's tight, the money ain't right. Like, like go out and hustle for a little bit. Like, you know, we got to prioritize. If financially, look, financial freedom means different for everybody. But in the sense of like you're not happy with, like, if you live in America, you can make that change. You could go from, you know, making 40K or maybe even less, and bump up to 6 figures. It can happen, bro. Like, doesn't matter what kind of financial, what kind of background you have, as long as you play your cards right. Unless you take those sources and you invest. You gotta have that. You gotta develop that mentality of investing and not just consuming. And that's, there's this analogy. It's like the farmer is rich because he's a producer. He produces more than he consumes. He's not planting all these grapes, because he's big. He
wants to eat all grapes.
He
make some wine.
To make some wine. Like, he's producing something, and people generally want it. So he's producing something,
providing a service.
And that's the thing that a lot of people don't even talk about, is living below. I mean, that's the most common thing, is living below your means, which not a lot of people do. Especially that when we talked about the stimulus checks, a lot of those people did not live below their means when they got the checks. They spent it all because flashy things, flashy items. Yeah. So that's one of the misconceptions, and I think it's just might be just a force of habit from family, maybe. Like, they weren't taught about money, so maybe
it's all a cycle. It goes back. So, man, it's a sad story. But when I was coaching, I coached football for a couple of years.
Right.
There was, I never got to meet her, but the head coach was like pissed because I guess they had like a big argument in the like counselor's office.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a 16-year-old girl, and then the mom was getting mad. I don't know. The mom wanted to like pull her from school, and like she was making a big deal because she wanted her.
Was she like on the football team? Was she? Like...
Oh no. The head coach just happened to be involved, and he told us the coaches later.
Oh, okay. So this was just like a regular like school.
Yeah,
girl?
Just a regular school girl. So she was I never knew her or anything, but he told the story like everybody was pissed in the office because the mom wanted to take her off school when she was 16 because she wanted her to get pregnant.
What?
Because she wanted her to start getting the welfare shit.
That's wow.
And she's like, she's old enough already. Like she needs to help out. And I guess she had like fucking like 10 or 12 fucking brothers and sisters. Like just a super sad story. Like the mom just having kids to get the welfare, to get the free government aid. And then she's getting, I don't know what happened to her girl, but just like that cycle that they don't get out of. You have that like mentality, like, oh, fucking, we're poor.
It's that security. That's security.
It's kind of sad, but hopefully we need to do some kind of. I was talking to Eric about doing like financial literacy. I wanted to start a YouTube channel and create like courses here, like having meetups here, like teaching people about the basics. Just because we don't have that, and I know it's on YouTube, but also like people need that extra effort or see maybe a community that's doing
see a
it.
community,
see a flyer like, oh shit, someone's trying to teach that without trying to sell them a fucking
sell them a course.
Oh my god, that's like the biggest.
Get rich. Buy my course and you'll learn how to make 10x money within 10 weeks. Like,
it's like we want to teach long-term success, make smart decisions now. They're gonna help you long-term, and that's something I've been passionate about just because like I didn't grow up with that. And I want to
you want to build that foundation, and you want to teach the next generation. And I mean,
one step at a time. If you could help one person, we could help.
If you could at least just change the way they perceive money, because some people they like credit, and some people hate credit just because of like they used it improperly. Same thing with money. Like some people believe that money's good. Some people think that money's the root of all evil. And I mean, yes, it is to a certain extent, greed and stuff like that. But like we deal with money on a constant basis, no matter, how are you going to pay your rent? Money. How are you going to like invest? Money. Like,
yeah, it's unfortunately the whole, we don't live in a barter system,
right?
Which I think it is better. It makes it easier when everything's done through cash. Like if I had fucking, like you said, grapes and shit, he's like 2 fucking bundles of grapes. Let me have a fucking soda.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of weird, but yeah, it's we just gotta hopefully help out the community one step at a time, and maybe even provide like some workshops about like how to find work or what's kind of fields that they could get into, especially with like making content online or tech jobs, doing the coding shit. Like people don't know how to even get started with that.
I could go into that, like I could go into that, but like
no, we should. That's something that. I don't know when. I feel like we would need Eric's help because he's got all the resources for that.
Yeah.
But that's something we need to help the community out. just jobs of the future, thinking about their future. You know,
Right.
people live too much in the
creator
now.
economy, like you said, man. Like people, as long as you have like a smartphone and any, it doesn't have to be the newest phone, but as long as it has a camera and like you have access to an internet connection, you could make, a chat room or chat room. That's old.
You can make a blog.
You can make a vlog, a blog. Yeah, you can make a blog. You can make a YouTube video. Even have a discussion online with some people. Like if you're into Pokemon, if you're into wrestling, if you're into stocks, like whatever you're into, there's a community there. Like this world.
Bro,
is so
I saw
big.
this YouTube channel that has like 50,000 subscribers, bro. Like he's making full-time income, and he's a fucking cleaning. He basically on his brand is like third generation janitor.
What?
And all he does is test cleaning products. So he'll be like, oh, new cloths and new Clorox wipes this, and he shows you like compares like different brands. He has like 50,000 subscribers. He's probably making like $2,000-$3,000 a month reviewing fucking cleaning products, bro. Like that's how niche you could start a channel.
Is it like,
or a fucking
is
content.
he utilizing like affiliate links and
so affiliate
okay.
So and then new products are paying for him to review their product. He's getting free products sent to him. He's getting affiliate links, and he's getting AdSense from YouTube. And that's like a guy talking about fucking cleaning products. Like you could do it with anything in today's age, but people don't know that opportunities are there because we have the lack of knowledge, and especially here in the Valley, like we don't. I don't know. I feel like people don't realize.
Like people are like slow. That's one of the things that like that maybe it's not just like it's a problem everywhere. Maybe it is, but especially here in the Valley, like we're kind of slow when it comes to like catching on to things, and maybe it might be these, I don't know, something about these mountains, like we're isolated from the world.
It feels like that sometimes. It's a little slow, but I mean, that's what we have to be.
We got to be open.
We have to create more content. Like I was having some conversations that they were telling me that I'm always hustling, always doing shit, but I feel like I'm not doing enough because I have these plans. Like I wish I could fucking create the financial content, or like do that whole like
have like
finance.
A whole different like niche, right?
Then you have like a creator one where we teach people how to be creative, how to start their online shit. Then we have the Coachella shit. Then we have the fucking like I have so many fucking things I want to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want to do them all at the same time. So we got to take it one step at a time. We got the podcast, the YouTube channel, Estoy filming, which is my filming and my video production channel.
We have so many like opportunities.
We do a lot, but we could do more.
We could do more, yeah. Especially,
I saw this Kevin Hart. I think I already told you about it. I don't remember, but I saw this. It was Kevin Hart and Joe Rogan, and that's like what inspired me the most was Kevin Hart. He came up, small time comedian. He was like just side roles in movies. Yeah. Little by little, started getting, and then he blew up. He became a huge star.
Right.
And now he has it all. So he's doing movies and top Hollywood movies.
He's like,
he's doing comedy specials every 2 years on Netflix or whatever, making I don't know how much money from those. He has like his own like underwear brand. He's on cologne. I think he has his own production company for movies.
Productions, yeah.
He has his own radio show on like FX or XM radio, whatever. He's just doing so much, and he talked about on Joe Rogan's podcast, like someone told him like, "What you're doing too much. Why would someone want to buy underwear from you?" He's like, "Why not? Why can't I be the first African American to have a clothing line? Oh, why can't I have my own perfume brand? Why can't I have my own production company? Why can't I have this? Why can't I be a comedian and also an actor? Why can't I do it all at the same time? Why do I have to just be one thing? My life, I want it to be. Why not? Why not do this? Why not do that? Why not do this?" So that's the mentality I have. It's like I want to do it all. So I'm fuck it. Things that I'm passionate about. I want to help people with finances. I want to help people with being creative.
Right.
Podcasting. Even my channel about Coachella. I was teaching people about Coachella.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to like help, and why not do?
Why not?
Why not do?
Yeah, dude. Like why not? And I think we just don't get the opportunity. Like I think sometimes it's just like we shut ourselves in to the point where we don't see outside of our situation. Like whatever situation we're going through, that's what we see. Like we don't, like when we're kids, man, you believe you're going to be this and that. Like when you were a kid, you said you were going to be, I don't know, like an astronaut, like archaeologist, whatever, man. Like it was just something out of nowhere. And I think there's something in the middle of like that growing up stage where it's like you face the realities of the world, right? And you just box yourself into these ideas that like, oh, you're this, you're that, you're this color, you're from this background, and you can't do these things. But in reality, you have other people like Kevin Hart who have who came from a similar background, similar issue, right? And they're, you know, doing all these things. So if somebody like Kevin Hart is doing something like that, like you gotta have a childlike mindset where you just gotta see like you gotta like believe in all these things. Like you gotta believe in yourself. You're gonna believe that you're capable of doing this. Like I want to
remember Gary Vee, because I know you consume a lot of Gary Vee too. Like I love Gary Vee. That was the shit. Yeah. So one of his things was like, there's no more gatekeepers. Back in the day, gatekeepers was if you want to produce an album, you have to go through the record companies. If you want to make a movie, you have to go through Hollywood to get your shit seen.
Right.
Now it's the internet decides. You know, if your content's good, if your music's good, like you've seen Olivia Rodrigo, whatever her name is, she blew up during like the last fucking year using TikTok.
Wow.
I think his name's like Ty Verdes or something. The AOK song. That fool has like millions of followers all from TikTok.
Yeah.
You don't need the big record labels. Like you could blow up on your own. Same thing with like videos. So many YouTubers, you know, like Mr. Beast with like 50 million subscribers, you know, doing his own shit. There's no more gatekeepers. It doesn't matter what color, what country, what race you are. As long as your product's good, you market good, the market will take care of itself. There's no more racism holding you back or fucking, you know what I mean? Like
I always thought like the internet just loves minorities, man. like no, think about it. Like the most consumed like content, bro. Like the best Viners were minorities. You know, like they're.
Well, it's because there's more minorities. So there's more minorities than. I guess not minorities. They're not like minorities. They're worldwide.
More like we're more relatable in that sense. Like
because we haven't seen ourselves in media, so. There was never Mexicans in media besides like generic as Mexicans, you know, like George Lopez was like the biggest thing, but there wasn't. There's way more than George Lopez, you know. There's like a variety. Now Food's Gone Wild is a huge brand. Wild. Like Cholo content is fucking millions of followers, and people love that because we all know fucking Cholos here, bro. And Beer 2 Homes.
Beer 2 Homes.
Well, like I mean, it's like the content's there. You have fucking people just making skits. On TikTok, you know, like couple skits. It's awesome though.
Yeah, it's relatable. Like that's what's so cool about the internet is you could see all these like characters and stories and
I saw a girl on TikTok. She has a bunch of followers and she makes like food with hot Cheetos. It's like hot Cheetos girl. So even fucking hot Cheetos girls like blowing up.
There's definitely a lot of girls from my school. Hot Cheeto girl, dude. There's these. Oh my god! Every time some girls are probably gonna cap out, like probably like fucking roast me in my fucking.
Well, you're into hot Cheeto girls, bro?
No, bro. Like in school, there's always these type of girls, right? They would always. I might be like insulting some people, but there's
choose your next words wisely.
There's always these girls, right? That always had like the It was like the hot Cheeto girl starter pack. They always had the small ass backpacks that like you just. All they had in there was just makeup. They couldn't fit a book or a binder or a notepad in there. They always ate hot Cheetos in the morning, bro. Like always had those red fingers.
During class.
Arizona iced tea. They wore chanclas. Like not. I don't know, bro. It just happened. Like it was just that, but it was like the basic. You know, hot Cheeto girl starter pack. It was just like they had bad attitudes too. So
yeah, I went with a lot of hot Cheeto girls as well.
But like even that, bro, like you see, like you had like a similar experience like that, and it's relatable. You know,
and there's people that make content like that.
Exactly.
You know, it's just content for everything. So I think it's just a great era that we live in. But that's what we need people to realize that they could do it themselves. Is we got to stop people from consuming to creating, especially here in the Valley. You know, I don't know how much Well, once we create content about it, we could impact more people. But I really want to help out just here, you know.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I posted on my Instagram too. Like who's always wanted to start a podcast just to see. I started conversations with some of them like, oh, what do you have in mind?
How many comments did you get out of it?
On that one, I probably got like 10 responses.
Okay.
Some people are just saying yeah. Some people haven't responded when I asked them follow-up questions,
okay.
so they got like a little shy.
A little shy.
But yeah, some people are like, oh, I want to start a sports podcast, or I want to start a podcast about this and that. So someone wants to do like creative stuff, and I think it's cool that people have they want to do it. I know there's people that want to do it. Like there's people that want to do YouTube, but they're too scared to start. Whether if I make a video, what are people gonna think? You know,
you just gotta start, like in anything, like kind of like that video that we were saying. Like at least making a video is better than not making a video. Like if you really want to do something, like I think what it is we compare ourselves a lot. There's this quote. I don't know who made it, but I think it was Jordan B. Peterson. He posted about it. I don't know if he created the quote. So.
Don't say B. It's just Jordan Peterson. I hate when you say Jordan B. Peterson.
Jordan, I don't know. There might be some other Jordan Peterson, but Jordan Peterson, he said comparison is the killer of all joy. The point of whatever it is, like you can't compare yourself to other people. Like if we're podcasting, we can't compare ourselves to Joe Rogan. Like he's in a different path. He's been doing this longer than
like
us.
12 years and shit.
Yeah, like we have no right to be like we're doing this our own way. There's the Joe Rogan way and there's our way. So you gotta understand, you gotta like instead of comparing sides and outcomes, you gotta compare in the sense of inspiration. You know, because they're like as humans, we're always gonna compare ourselves, but I say steal like an artist, you know, steal like an artist. Like if there's something that you like about somebody's content, okay, use it. Same concept.
Recreate
it your own way. That's what everybody does. Comedians do it all the time. Even artists do it all the time, dude. Like,
yeah, that's what it is. Because everything's been done since Shakespeare. Like Shakespeare was stealing content from other motherfuckers out there, bro. There was some other, I don't know names of the English people, but stealing like an artist is a great example. Like if you don't know where to start, well, let me break it down for the people that don't know. Stealing like an artist means you want to be a vlogger, watch Casey Neistat videos, watch David Dobrik videos, look at the videos that you
look at their format.
How do they make these videos? What kind of camera angles they use? How do they like make the transitions? Can I make a video just like that? Like you could copy the same title, the same video, and then just film it your own way with your friends, with your homies, with your cousins. And your video is going to be different. It might be the similar topic, like 24 hours at Walmart. Like a lot of people were making those videos back then. You can make that video, but it's going to be different than any other video because it's you and then the editing you use and the shit you say. And then the employees are going to come in and, you know what I mean? Like it's
different outcome.
It's a different setting. You don't know how the video is going to turn out. You could do a day in a life vlog. Your day in a life is different than anybody in the world because nobody has your day. You know,
nobody has your geographical location.
Get ready with me in the morning. Like only you can make that kind of content. Even though there's a million of those get ready with me in the morning videos, no one's gonna do it the way you do it.
Everybody has a different personality.
Your mindset, you're thinking about different shit. You're telling stories. Like it's all different. You just.
I've always liked those story time videos. To be honest, like those, I remember back in the day just watching like some people just play video games and like they just tell like a random story, like cutcoms, right? Like when they play Call of Duty and just tell a story, like well,
that's what a lot of Twitch streamers are. They're just talking about different shit.
Yeah, man.
You're on Twitch playing, and you're just talking about, oh yeah, do you guys see the game or whatever? You know, party, just playing the game.
Just talk with the chat and chat it up, and
people ask questions.
People ask questions, and like people clip like funny moments and like when you rage and break the computer for her.
Yeah, it's just it's a great time we're alive, and
take advantage, man. Take advantage. Like there's so many resources out there. Like there's so much like content out there to be inspired. So if you ever want to start something, start it. Like there's a community out there. It's just don't be afraid. Just double down. Whatever it is that you're trying to do. Like for me, I was always into wrestling. I never spoke about it, and I actually started my own wrestling thing. And I also started posting stuff on TikTok about wrestling. Like yesterday was All Out, one of the biggest pay-per-views in AEW history. So much shit happened, but like people are talking about it, and like I know from watching, you know, wrestling for like the longest time, there's a reason why people watch those shows is because people love wrestling. So if something like that. Like if there's a community for that, if people love video games, if people are tuning in to watch people play video games about a certain video game like Call of Duty or League of Legends, like if that's your thing, find your community. Or you never know, there might be people that have the same interest as you. You may never know until you start. So
yeah, there's a community for everything. Like we said, there's hot Cheeto girl communities.
Yeah, man.
Cleaning supply communities.
There's people that like watching people eat, like mukbang videos.
Oh hell yeah, bro. There's a community for everything. But yeah, it's interesting. You brought up AEW.
Oh man,
we talk about CM Punk.
Dude, CM
Punk's first match in 7 years.
In 7 years, he faced Darby Allin. He's like this cool guy. He like paints his face. He's like half dead, and he skates. Which is
the guy that
cool.
was with Sting, right?
He was with Sting. He's managed with Sting, which is cool. He's kind of like the Sting of AEW right now because he has like he's an enigma. He comes from like from the Raptors. Like what's cool about him? He films. He films like little vignettes, like before their wrestling match. He filmed this thing like he actually wants to. What's cool about Darby Allin? He actually he went to film school.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he actually went to film school, so he wants to direct like a movie and whatnot. So
that's dope.
In his wrestling, he does video packages where he does like little edits,
like skits and
shit. Yeah,
shit?
like skits. They're more of like black and white, and like before the wrestling match, he filmed like this body bag, and he has crazy friends, so like his friend was in the body bag and it was spray painted best in the world, and then he like dangled his friend from a helicopter inside a body bag.
Damn.
And then he jumped from the helicopter like into a river, but like it didn't show the water or anything. It just showed him just
like dropping
from the helicopter. Like it was sick, so that was a cool like intro. Like that's why I like Darby Allin, and also he skates too, so that's a different element. But CM Punk, dude, hometown Chicago, Illinois, one of the biggest Chicago is known for like the best wrestling fans just because it's Chicago, Illinois, and people, I don't know what it is about Chicago over there. They're very proud people.
Yeah, they're very passionate.
They're very passionate. Like
I'm dying.
Damn, bro. Drink some water, man.
Just keep talking about it. Fuck.
Yeah, man. So, Chicago, Illinois, CM Punk's hometown. You already know they love CM Punk. Just like I saw some guy with the CM Punk tattoo, like of the ice cream bar. It was crazy, man. And I'm not gonna lie, seeing like they were like the crowd was just loving it. They were singing his song. It's when I first saw the match, it was just weird. It wasn't weird, but I had like an aha moment of like, man, the last time I saw this dude wrestle, I was in elementary school. Like, man, I was 12 years old or something like that.
Was it worth the wait?
I thought it was worth the wait, to be honest. He looked good, to be honest. He's not in bad shape. He's not in bad shape. Obviously the mat, like he's a little slow, but that's ring rust, and he wants to hang with these new up and coming wrestlers, man. Like what's crazy is that you add like him into the mix. Now you have all these dream matches, man. Like with all these new superstars.
Well, also besides him coming back into wrestling, Daniel Bryan,
dude.
What's his name?
Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, so Daniel Bryan, he was a huge star. That's when I kind of remember I told you I kind of left wrestling around the time he was big. So him coming back and joining AEW too, bro, like this is about to rival WWE for sure now.
Dude, like,
and then the pop that he was getting, bro, like the crowd just that shit was bad.
Dude, like it's those moments that make, like, even I think it was Tony Schiavone who said it, the commentator. He's like, man, it's a good time. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan because you this is what's been missing. Is competition, because for so long, man, like WWE has had all the talent, and I'm not gonna lie, AEW is not for everybody. AEW is a show where if you love professional wrestling, which a lot of the wrestlers are professional wrestlers, it's it's a pro wrestling show. It's not a WWE show. WWE is its own thing. They don't even consider it pro wrestling. So
it's an entertainment.
It's entertainment, and not saying that AEW isn't, but it's more of like if you love it for like the professional wrestling, like you love it for, you know, the moves or just for the story time, for the psychology and stuff like that involves in it.
That's cool.
And what's cool about AEW is the wrestlers, they make content. They actually make content. Like I told you, Sammy Guevara, he's one of the wrestlers. They do vlogs. So like you get to
they do stuff on YouTube and stuff?
Yeah. You should check them out. Like
I'll check out the vlogs.
Whenever they
send me some links. For sure.
Whenever they do like these shows, they get to showcase like them traveling and
that's dope. Like behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes during these big shows. Like they even the Young Bucks, one of the tag teams that were there in the ring. That's how they became big stars. So the how AEW started, it was a bunch of like it was like a group of independent wrestlers that so the Young Bucks are a tag team. They made content on YouTube like forever. So every time they would do independent shows, they would document that and make videos in public. That's how they grew up following. They're like millionaires right now, dude. They made a book. They basically beat the system. Instead of like traditionally, it was like if you're a wrestler, you would have to go to WWE, and like that's how you become a big name. But no, they changed the script. They used the internet, their social media, and actually became a big following without having to resort to getting the big paychecks. So that's how they sold a lot of merch. Like they're really good at marketing, dude. Like the Young Bucks, they have flashy, like, you know, bright red colors, so good for the kids and whatnot. And they utilize like social media. They were able to get over, which is like getting over with the crowd through their YouTube videos.
Channels.
That Fuego del Sol dude, he was an independent contractor, and then because he was in the vlogs and he got over with the people, he got signed. Like, bro, that's not something you really hear a lot, like in WWE.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude, like these dudes, they know what they're doing, and
I like that the former wrestlers are coming in to bring more hype to bring in older fans coming back to wrestling to check out AEW, because especially CM Punk and Danny Bryan, because think about in the last 10 years. Think about the last 10 years in pro wrestling or WWE. CM Punk and Danny Bryan are probably like in the top 5 of the most popular with the fans. Dude. Like Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 30, WrestleMania 29, he was on top of the game. Before he got hurt, before his leg injury, he was fucking over like crazy.
I would call them
CM Punk, early 2011, boom, over with the crowd. So besides John Cena, like Roman Reigns, The Rock, whatever, but those guys are like top of the game that are also fan favorites.
They're the underdogs.
They weren't pushed like Roman Reigns or Randy Orton, because Randy Orton, he's amazing, but he was also kind of like, he had like
they're like the
third generation, you know.
They're like the Shawn Michaels. I consider them like the Shawn Michaels / like the Bret Hart of this generation, something like that, man. It's just like something
the crowd relates to and they just love.
Yeah, dude, that's why people love him in Chicago, because it's like he's not this beefed up, jacked up dude who came from a wrestling
chiseled
background.
Fucking
giant, dude.
Yeah.
Like he reps Chicago, like like in his tights, bro. Like the 4 stars, bro. Like people love that shit. I mean, people, like I said, they are passionate. They're very proud people. They wear that flag like nobody's business, man. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan, like for sure. AEW right now is the eyes and ears of professional wrestling, and what's cool about them is that they also help out other promotions. So they're collaborating with promotions in Mexico. AAA, you have the AAA champion defending, like Kenny Omega. He was AAA champion at the time. He's like defending it there, like he wears it. TNA as well. New Japan, Dean Ambrose wrestled this guy from New Japan. Kento, I forgot his name, but it was like this guy from Japan. Like, bro, like you don't see that in WWE. And what's cool about this, it's kind of like restarting another like Monday Night War.
If it's starting to feel like that,
it's starting to feel like
and
that.
I was too young to go through that, so I became a wrestling fan after WWE already fucking bought WCW.
You were like you went into the ruthless aggression era, so it's a good time because like throughout this whole time, it's like WWE's just been dominating. Years, They dominate the market. They dictate who's popular
and the thing is, if it has a grassroots movement like YouTube and vlogging, it's more community based, so it has a stronger
dude.
connection to the wrestlers than a new wrestler that comes to WWE.
Yeah.
They might not have the marketing, but that is it. It's the gatekeepers, bro.
Zack Ryder.
WWE was the gatekeepers, and then YouTubers fucking found a way to get there. So
yeah, that's AEW, and as a whole, the company was a grassroots movement, basically.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna be honest, so what's cool is the owner or the chairman is Tony Khan. The Khan family, they own the Jaguars. Jaguars. So, bro, like, they wrestled at the Jaguar Stadium, bro. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, during quarantine, the stadium stampede. So it's like you get to see these cool things. That, like, it's a good time to be a wrestling fan if you're like into just wrestling.
Getting back into the game. Yeah, we'll definitely we'll be keeping check every week. See how the CM Punk's doing and. Brian
Danielson. The American Dragon, whatever you want to call him. He was a independent wrestler for a long time, so he's good at like these independent. Like a lot of people know him because of the independent promotions and wrestling shows and whatnot, like GCW, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, like all these promotions. Ring of Honor is a big one. It's kind of like a step below TNA, I would say. So it's like. A lot of the TNA wrestlers came from Ring of Honor, so like Samoa Joe, and Samoa Joe actually wrestled CM Punk back in the day.
Oh damn!
Yeah, so it's a lot of the wrestlers have wrestled each other like in the past, but now like you actually get to see them in a larger scale, like because of the TV deals.
Yeah, of course. So they have the chemistry.
And they have that chemistry, and it's like it's a good time to be a wrestling fan. Like,
and every time you talk about wrestling, it gets me excited. I haven't watched, to be honest. I've watched actually some highlights on AEW stuff just because I don't know, maybe because you've been fucking researching on my YouTube. It comes on my my homepage.
Your homepage.
I'm like, oh, and then sometimes I click and I'm like, oh, that's an interesting title, and I'm slowly getting back into wrestling.
Yeah, man. Like the thing right now, dude, is back then I could predict what would happen, but at the time, like now, I can't even predict what's gonna happen, man. Like, because literally it's like, what other wrestler is going to be signed? Who else is going to show up? Who is going to... Like, back then I could predict, okay, this person might beat this guy for the title. But now that they're adding more stars, I don't...
Who's going to get...
It's like, bro, these dream matches, it's like, who's going to take the next title? Who's going to be the next number one contender? So, like, bro, like, the feeling of, like, who's going to be the next guy? Who's going to be, like, all these matches... under this umbrella, and like you add like the building up of these new stars, it's like, bro, it's a dream come true. And so it's like it's something that has been missing for a long time, and I hope for WWE they change something. I don't know, maybe Vince lets Triple H take over, because at this point
Vince is already past his prime. My boy, how old is Vince? Like 90?
He's like, I don't know, man, he's like 80. I don't know. Maybe I'm pushing it, but he's got no chance. No chance in hell that he's going to beat the ratings for AEW in the upcoming months. At least that's what Chris Jericho says. And Chris Jericho's a GOAT, man.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho's a GOAT.
I think it's going to be interesting to see, because these months are filled for wrestling after SummerSlam. It's kind of like a whatever, because you're leading up to Royal Rumble.
Oh, dude, the Royal Rumble, dude.
So that's when the new season begins. Oh, yeah. Royal Rumble, then you lead up to WrestleMania, then you lead to SummerSlam. So SummerSlam just happened. I feel like wrestling kind of, you have a couple big pay-per-views in November, but I think it just slows down.
November, AEW's next pay-per-view is Full Gear, which is in November. So I don't know, bro. Like This
is the time for AEW to make a stand, and especially right now with those big signings.
Those big names. I mean, you have international wrestlers too, so you have people come like Japanese fans as well. They're big Mexican fans as well. So from all these, bro, it's just
it's dope.
It's dope.
Well, I think that pretty much wraps up today's podcast. We did over 2 hours and almost like 2.5 hours.
Hey, bro. Man, it was a good.
This was a good one, bro. And this, we didn't fucking write anything down.
We did not plan. Okay, so usually when we're talking about soccer and whatnot, or like different topics, we should actually, one thing for sure was we should ask people like questions just to have a segment of the podcast.
Yeah, we should have more inclusive. So if you're watching this, leave questions on any social media. we'll be answering your questions at least at the end of every episode,
Yeah.
so that way they could get their answers.
Yeah,
their questions
even on the
answered.
podcast too, or we should make a post. Like we gotta be like
more proactive.
about it, or just
Yeah.
remember.
So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes or Apple, make sure you give us a 5-star review. Share it with your friends and your mom.
Or your sister.
Or your brother.
Or your brother. Your tío, your tía, your
everybody.
aunts.
Your hot Cheeto girls from
your
your
hot Cheeto
neighborhood.
girls at school. You know what I mean?
Everybody. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.